Um, we stole basically, I guess it's a mount, isn't it?
The Crodlu.
Yeah, yeah. It's like basically like the equivalent of a racehorse or something.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like a really nice racehorse, the
Yeah,
kind that nobles would pay a lot of money for.
yeah, yeah. So we stole the Crodlu and managed to escape with two slaves that we
Three,
basically
actually.
Yeah,
three.
the last one that was in the stables.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that one acted as a guide, and also,
Oh yeah.
The chef
well,
and the
plus
maid.
they didn't want to stick around after they kind of showed you how to leave
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
in front of like potential enemies. So that was kind of
Um.
that.
Yeah. So we escaped with three slaves. We're gonna have to find places for, and we are on our way to plant the racehorse in the other house now.
All
Beastie
right.
covered and dripping in blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, a good number of you are covered in blood at this point, for sure.
Yeah.
So
Beastie is covered in blood from her mouth down though, because she ripped someone's throat out.
also in regards to the character privacy thing, um, if it becomes private to me, that's a problem. So I don't know if that's the case. It might be because I'm the DM and you're in my campaign that even setting it to private is no problem. If anybody has it set at private right now,
I do.
then okay. So
I do.
I think I still see your character. Um, I can still view them. I can still edit them, I believe. So I think we're
Let's see.
good, Beastie. So yeah, you should be able to set your character to private, and I can still have
Try to
access
open
to
up
it.
mine. If you can, it's all fine because I set private.
I did it already with Beastie, who set it to
All right,
private. So
awesome.
we got that test out of the way. Thank you though.
Hmm.
So um, yep, the party essentially formed a plan, utilized Laliana's brief
First.
but effective diversion, and got themselves into the basement where the race Crodlu resided. They fought their way through it, including killing the captain of the Red Talon, I believe it was,
Mm-hmm.
um, and managed to close the door behind them in order to race out of there with the prized Crodlu and three of Grigoryanov's slaves. Um, so great job. At this point, um, you guys were coming out of the tunnels into essentially an area that intersects between the coins and the lower official quarter. And you're looking conspicuous with armor, weapons, and covered in blood with the prize Crodlu currently.
I do know the region quite well as a Templar and as someone that who can go in the district. Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
English. Um, would I know a place to hide or a quick way to get the fuck out of there?
Um, yeah, give me like a advantaged wisdom check.
Oh
Just
wait,
pick,
a wisdom
Maybe
check.
it's.
yeah. So just a
Is there an
general,
advantage? But I'd also assist this.
yeah. So just a general wisdom check will do. If for whatever reason you're not a city person, then this will not be an advantage.
Testing the thingy. Oh, it did work. Awesome.
Yep, shit works. And people are just graffitiing me my poor little map.
That's me, not anybody else, if that
I'm
helps.
kidding. It's
It's
fine.
always me.
It's always fucking okay. So, you've got a 12, and if you wanted to roll as well, Ostos, you live here as well. You and especially you kind of know that particular area. So if you want to roll advantage, you may. And just a general wisdom
Okay.
check.
Okay.
Not that I'm gonna complain about this. If you just go, oh well, fuck it. I have an extra spell slot on D&D Beyond that I don't have on Roll20.
Well, I believe D&D Beyond over Roll20. So my guess is something was wrong on the Roll20 sheet.
Alrighty.
So you're good to go.
Okay. I was just noticing that like I had expended a spell and it wasn't ticked off on roll or on
You
D&D
just mean the tracking. Yeah, so I didn't do that. So if you
Oh no.
if
No,
you
I
guys
mean
would-
I legitimately have an extra slot as well.
If you're
Oh,
level
yeah.
3, then we haven't reached level 3 as characters, but I believe we're tracking you level 3.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
that
all
would
your
be it.
characters are level 3 at this point. So that's probably what you're seeing. But even if it like was the case that Roll20 level 3 and D&D Beyond level 3, like I would believe D&D Beyond every time over Roll20 because Roll20 is like, well, it's just subject to human error, and D&D Beyond is enforced by a database. So, yeah, so we should be good there. But yeah,
Okay.
good point on the other part though about expenditures. Please take whatever lost hit points and spells and other limited use abilities from your Roll20 sheet and apply them to your D&D Beyond sheet right now. Jesus.
I'm not
I can
bragging or
speak English
anything.
too. I don't have any excuses. It's my first language. Please apply that to your sheets, and that'll be
I'm
helpful.
not bragging or anything, but I don't remember getting hit. I just remember spending a spell slot. Sorry.
La-di-da. But go ahead and hit that spell slot.
Yeah, it's already on.
Okay,
And
let's.
I think everybody knows this at this point, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we talk about short rests and long rests.
Okay. The only thing I did was I used 2 spell slots, but my HP is totally fine, so I'm good.
Yeah, I think you got healed a bunch or something like that.
Yeah.
So I bet the lay on hands got used up
Yeah.
a little bit.
I'm gonna turn it down right now.
Sure.
I know
Yes.
I knew that I had like from them I had like 2 slots because I always save 2 for emergency.
Yeah, that's the last bit of transitioning that I didn't think of between these sheets.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that. Appreciate it, and we'll be good to go after that. Now,
Also do my
Ostos,
wisdom roll. Yeah.
Ostos, there, you're aware of a shelter you can go to. It's your house. You're not far. You look around and you recognize these streets. Alec, you're kind of familiar with these streets, but you're not aware of where you could take shelter quickly. Also, you do. Your essentially your family household is not far from here.
Is there anywhere else?
Not with 15. Actually, you know what? I'll roll me a d10. 1 being the worst result and 10 being the best.
Okay. I don't know how to re-roll on.
Oh, well,
D&D.
you'll-
There's a dice on the left down
You'll-
corner.
Yeah,
So I just rolled on roll 20.
yeah, that's fine. Oh, and what are you saying, Arthur? That there's
I was
dice.
saying there's a on the D&D Beyond sheet thing. There's a on the left side down corner. There's like a little
okay.
dodecahedron. You can roll a dice there. I don't know if it's working with the implement of the Roll20, but we can try it.
I
Yeah,
do
if it
not
doesn't-
see that.
If
Am
it
I
doesn't work,
blind?
well, it might be that it only is for people who have activated their D&D Beyond digital dice.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I,
I mean,
have that.
I
turned
rolled the
on.
dice on D&D Beyond, but it didn't get roll 20.
Yeah, so I got to see it on the Roll20 still. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten
I rolled.
we haven't evolved beyond Roll20 completely.
Yeah, it doesn't work
worries.
towards Roll20. So yeah,
So
sorry.
we'll still use Roll20 for random dice rolling. But
Yeah.
anyhow, Ostos, there is also a merchant's location. It's essentially an indoor shop, and the merchant is sympathetic to you for the most part. So that's another place you could go. Although that could, well, that's up to you how you want to work that.
Yeah, that would be really weird. Just going up with a random Kratu and a bloodied people.
Just shut up and don't say anything. No, nothing happened here.
Nothing to see here. Carry
Yeah.
on. We can go this way, but there's a place we can regroup, but we have to be very brief. And I will head towards the family home.
All right. Hey, I've got music for you. It's your character's theme, essentially. Actually, it's more like your father's theme.
Ooh.
And I can play it really quickly. There it is, without using Discord. Okay. First off, give me sort of like stealth rolls to reach there inconspicuously. Or you can attempt to, just in the tunnel, swap out your gear, but that would take you a while, and you're kind of on the run.
I think I rolled, but didn't roll on roll 20, so
Oh,
again.
I don't know why
Mine
mine's on
rolled-
advantage.
Because I asked you.
Oh, okay.
I asked you all to roll with advantage, and I just I know if it's advantage or not. So I just interpret as needed. All you gotta do is click it. I'll know what to interpret that as.
Okay.
okay.
So I'll do the heavy lifting on that.
I will use my inspiration for this.
Okay.
So I'll mark that off.
Go ahead and if you're using inspiration, then we'll take the 17.
Okay.
In that case, we've got two 17s, a 12, and two 8s. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
With your window minimize, I'm no longer hearing you.
Oh, I minimized it. My bad. I gotta get better at. Is it back on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get better at switching instead of minimizing.
I just
Yeah,
thought it was
you're
a
doing great.
I thought it was a really short song.
No, I just I need to know how to alt tab instead of actually alt tab because I have Steam open. Let me get Steam stuff. So I really can alt tab. Perfect. Yeah, get used to alt tabbing. All right. Nadia and Ostos, you are able to guide the the slightly conspicuous BC and Jenny. You sort of get them into the center of the group with you on the outside, and the lot of you are able to, for the most part, inconspicuously make it over to the household of Ostos. Ostos, do you have a family name? Do you have like a last name, or Ostos of
There's no
something, or-
elven name, but the last name is Heinz.
Ostos Hines. So you're able to reach the Hines household, and you can obviously open the door up because you have the key. What do you do from here?
Kind of looking back at everyone. Yeah. So let's be brief. Let's change our clothes and all that. But let's not linger here too long. Let me talk to my father real quick. Maybe take the Crodlu around out of sight. Kind of head in by myself real quick.
Okay. And you open up the door, and there in the main room is your father, a sort of slightly grayed version of yourself, sitting on a chair in the middle of the room with a desk that's full of paperwork and ink and quills, and he's sort of writing away at the moment. And he looks up at you and says, Astos, is there something you need? And his eyes sort of widen because there's probably at least just a speckle of blood on your on your robes currently.
Probably.
And he goes, "Is there something wrong?"
Well, Papa, I have some people outside that need to come in real briefly. There was a bit of a scuffle, but we'll be in and out real briefly, if you don't mind.
He stands up and in sort of a rush says, like, "Is there? Are you hurt?" Is there anything I can do for you, son?
Thanks, I'm fine. But there are others with me that are a bit injured, and some of them look worse than what they are. Um, yes, and there is also someone here that might be willing to work around the house for a small wage, but that's later. Um, is it alright if I invite them in?
Go ahead, son.
Turn around, open up the door, and gesture for people to come in.
Nadia comes in.
And
Yep.
a lot of you are covered in blood. You have these sort of sketchy looking robes on, with weapons and armor. And are you just pulling the Crodlu in, or are you just bringing it around the?
Is there
I think
anywhere like around the back of the house or like the side of the house where it's
Sure.
like out of sight?
Yeah, to a side or backyard. And
I would just be sitting on it, like, what do I do with this?
okay, so is Beastie coming in, or is she outside with the creature?
I guess I'll take it outside and like get it hidden real quick, wherever.
I am actually accompanying Beastie towards this because I do know that she's freaking bloody, and I wanna try to help her cover herself up before
I
she
think
calls out attention.
that would probably just entail removing, because I think all you came in with robes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
robes
Yeah.
and like the apron.
So if
I'll
you have a robe in your inventory, you can remove it, and that is where the majority of the blood is on. So, but as you're coming in, robe's currently on. The father just goes, "Oh dear. It is everyone all right?"
Yes, good sir. Nice to meet you. You are.
His eyes just go fucking wide as a Templar comes into his house.
I have disguise. I'm not showing any Templar anything. From
You have your Templar armor on, as you
Oh,
described
shit.
earlier.
okay.
But
Um,
yeah, I'll look towards him like, Father, it's completely fine. Looking directly at Alec, like,
You certainly have a diverse number of friends, son.
Do not be worried. We are just looking for safe passage for a few minutes. We just need to get ourselves cleaned up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything you need, sir.
Don't worry.
Please come over here. And he's like pulling out the nicest chair in the house for you to.
You don't have to do it. Don't worry. I am not.
I insist, sir. Would you like some tea, sir?
we won't
He's
do that
gonna
long,
walk up
Father.
and hop up on the chair.
Little girl, it's for the
Sir.
Templar. You
Sir,
understand?
what's your name, please?
It's-
I'm asking.
It's
yeah.
Zaviel.
What?
Zaviel.
Zaviel. Zaviel. First of all, nice to meet you. Second of all, you don't have to worry a thing about me. My name is Alec of the Nightshade. All right? Do you get that? You don't have to worry a thing about me. I know your son. I know your son. Thing is, we just need safe passage for a minute. We need this to clean it up, and we will be out of here in no time. I didn't see your face. I never met you. Do you understand?
Sort of pauses for a moment, letting that sink in, and nods and says, "A friend of my son is a friend of mine. Please,
Thank you.
be my guest."
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
And
Father.
I'll start
If
unloading.
everyone can please hurry so we can get out of this area, I would appreciate it.
Astos,
Yes.
our friends, our new friends over here, point to the three slaves that are following us. They could use new clothes as well. So if you can provide that to them, it would be of great help.
He looks at Ostos and himself that are sort of diminutive in size compared to you, and says, "Some things may not fit as well."
If Lydia Grivno, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh, is this for the slaves?
Yeah.
Okay. No, he's got he's got things for their size. I thought he meant for like the crew, and Alex kind of the big boy. So, but if it's for the slaves, he nods and says, "I have a few, I have a few sets of clothing." Did you mention they were slaves or no?
No.
Not yet, no.
Okay, so he just goes and retrieves some clothing. For now, he's not in the room.
Well, there's my room is over there. Kind of point over there, across the way. If any of you want privacy, changing real quick. Once my mother comes back with some spare clothes,
Oh yeah.
change and head out.
Does looking at Lydia, do I see an obvious slave brand on her?
Yep, they're all branded on the back of their neck.
Okay.
During this, while I kind of give that brief direction, I'll go with my father, to go kind of help him grab things and if he has any questions.
Sure. Your father, I'm gonna provide a nice little picture for your father. Because why not, right?
It's gonna
let's
be
get some
Brom from fucking Earth. Sorry.
Let's get some images out here. So I'm gonna send a image to the notes to players. If you just hate it, Ostos, it is your father, so you can tell me to go get another one. But that's
Oh.
Wait, what?
I spelled
Okay.
your dad's
wait,
name wrong.
Wait, this is a union between a human and an elf. Which,
Correct.
Yeah, so he's not gonna have that
Pointy ears.
that look. Right, that's right, Salder.
Is he a human?
Yeah, he's a human.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pull a different one. But
It's all good. We can
but
get
that'll
it
take a
later.
while. So you come into the room with him, and what do you say?
I know it's a lot, Father, but it is for the drastic time. It'll pass soon. But I hope this isn't too much for you too suddenly.
The new picture's out there.
Okay.
He sits down just for a moment and kind of gives a sigh, and just sort of almost says to himself, "It was all just so very quick. I didn't know how quite to react. I'm glad you have so many friends, son. But what have you gotten yourself into?"
Well, myself, not quite too in depth with things, but the others are a bit entangled with the Night Runners. Night Runners is the Elfin clan of Low, correct?
Yes, and I'm gonna roll a little check for him. Yeah, so he raises an eyebrow and says, "Son, you could do so much better."
It was all kind of happenstance, and it happened quickly as well. As I said, the entanglements are mainly with them. Just really helping them.
You've always been such a good boy, Astos. I'd hate to see you running with the wrong crowd. The Night Runners, they have a sordid history.
You haven't told me because it's been rather dramatic, but perhaps they can help find Mother.
His expression sort of changes, and he says, "Your mother is just simply on a expedition at the moment, son. I assure you, she'll arrive home soon."
Has he told me that before, or just sketchy enough to do an insight check?
You can do an insight check.
Okay.
Insight on your father? How
Yeah,
dare
buddy.
you?
Loop. Looks like an amazing roll. Link.
I love how it says 2-hit. You punch your father with dishonesty. Okay, let's roll for him. And a roll does not necessarily mean guilt. It's just it's just what it is.
I mean, you can tell that he's being avoidant.
The change in his expression, the way in which he gave you this hopeful statement, tells a different story than the tone of his voice.
Well, perhaps we can check up on this expedition that she is on. Perhaps these might be, it's questionable, folk as they might be, the Night Runners, they might help with that.
He nods and says, let's give it some time.
Give him a nod
all
and
your
start picking
friends-
up clothes.
Say that again.
So I'll give him a nod and start picking up clothes as well.
Are your friends to stay here for the night, or just briefly?
This should just be a brief change of attire and heading out again.
Very well.
Though-
I still could brew them a tea. I'll brew them a tea as he moves along.
There, before he heads out, like, Father, there's, you could use some help around the house. I've noticed with all your research and your distractions that an extra hand wouldn't hurt with me being gone so often.
And as you say that, you look around the, the other room here that acts as sort of a, what might have once been a family room or like a separate dining room has become a sort of mess of paperwork, and that is sort of extended from the main room. And he looks around and scratches his head, says, I haven't been keeping the best home for you or for your mother's return.
Well, I'm looking to hiring some help tonight. So if you're fine with that, then I'll return with an answer of possibly having a helping hand around. So that's fine with you, Father.
Yes, we could afford it, and we ought to.
I'll give him a nod, and if there's anything else to bring out, then I'll start bringing stuff out to the main room.
Mm-hmm. And so Ostos comes back out. The father, you see him move from one room to another. It looks like he's moving into the kitchen.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna ask. While they're doing their stuff, can I look around for anything really small, kind of expensive looking that I may or may not be able to slip into my pocket?
Wow.
Sure. The place is a bit of a mess, so it might be even easy to steal from here. There are a number of books. Books are really the main hors d'oeuvre of your theft here, because first off, you haven't seen so many books here in a place before. There's quite a few, and you can't read it at all. But some of the books might have a bit of a what I would call like a sort of gilded threading to the bindings, and that might be worth some coin.
Sure, I'm gonna try and sneakily pick up a book.
Sure. So, go ahead and so this would be opposed against Ostos because
Yes.
and others that are in the room. So the members that are in this room, Ostos' father's not here currently, so it'd just be all of y'all with a contested perception versus her sleight of hand.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay. So she's got a 15. I should just tell you the results after the fact to
Yeah.
make it more interesting. But it'll at least be harrowing for Jenny. So Jenny, you look about, you see the members of your group kind of speaking amongst each other, and you notice that there is a book with this sort of, it looks fairly new, threaded well, and that might fetch a good penny or two. And so you go over and you sort of just slide, you just kind of pull your bag off of your back and lower it below the table and just kind of slide the book right into the bag.
Awesome.
And no one seems to be the wiser.
Cool.
Go ahead and place. You should be able to go to manage inventory under your equipment, and just type the word book. Books are expensive. Go ahead and add one book to your inventory.
Okay.
Meanwhile, can I?
And please, if you can edit it, you should be able to like click the name and then there should be somewhere like edit or customize, and see if you can change the name of the book to Zaviel's book.
Sure.
Oof.
Zaviel with an X. All
Meanwhile, can I talk to Beastie if she's inside the house, of course?
Yeah,
Sure.
she's in
Go
the
ahead.
house.
Are you all right? I mean, I don't mean to pry or anything, but don't tell me that's your blood, right?
No, I ripped out the throat of that dude.
Okay. Back there, I'm so sorry I couldn't help you earlier. I was trying to lock the door and handle it. I was helping Jenny, so I'm sorry I couldn't get to you earlier. But I have to ask, who's is the dwarf the cook? Because I didn't catch why he was tagging along with us. I'm glad that we're taking slaves out there, but what? How did it happen?
The cook. He's my friend.
Oh, okay. I'm not denying you that. That's fine. The more the merrier, I suppose.
Come back out with the clothes and like start handing them to each of the slaves.
All right. I'm glad that you did such a thing. I mean, you made a new friend. And for that, I'm grateful of your actions. I just want to make sure you're right. Okay. Thanks again. And I will start switching my gear.
Zaviel comes out with a nice looking ceramic plate, and on it are 5 cups filled with sort of slightly sweet smelling tea. And he places it he kind of pushes some of his books and papers aside to make room for this little plate. And kind of drops it down with a clink and says, please, help yourselves.
Samuel, I do appreciate it. I don't think we do have that spare time, but damn it, I'll grab one of the cups and try to sip it.
Yeah, it is slightly sweet. It seems like a cane connector tea. Not, what would you call it, fermented like the broy. Instead, it just sort of has a sort of sweet taste that accompanies this otherwise sort of tea leaf style drink.
It's really good. Thank you very much, sir. Again, I just have to say, you don't have to worry about a thing. I'm not faking anything. I'm just asking your son for help. To help myself, and in the meanwhile, you don't have to worry about him. I'll keep him safe, okay?
He nods and says, that's fair, sir. You should know that the Temple of Abalashe is welcome here. As he smiles, and I'm just gonna roll something real quick. He seems genuine.
Oh, fuck. Alright,
Well,
that's good
thank
to
you
know.
for the tea, Father. Unless anyone else has any changes of clothes or anything to do, let us be out of my father's hair.
I'm gonna point to the slaves, the former slaves, and I'm gonna go, Ostos, they have slave marks. We need to take care of that.
Oh, well,
Zaviel sees this and goes,
Nope. Oh.
Oof.
it's a little complicated, Father. I'll explain it later.
do these... You did not buy these slaves, did you?
No.
Scratches his head for a moment. He says,
You got a knife?
the plight of slaves is complicated, isn't it?
Quite.
Wait,
And he...
I have a knife. Cool. I'm gonna pull out my dagger, and I'm gonna go up to the cook, whose name I know but can't remember at the moment.
No.
So what you're attempting to do, you want to... Does it appear like you're looking to cut the brands off with the knife?
Yeah, so I was gonna go up to him and go, if you trust me, I can...
Can I interrupt?
Sure.
As a former slave, you know that people have attempted this before. This is a common attempt to remove a brand, and it leaves a scar just as the brand does. Only the regenerate spell regenerates perfectly. Again,
Yeah. So healing word would leave a scar.
it would leave a scar that would be in the shape of a brand, so people would still know it's a slave, and now they know it would, and now they would know it's an illegal slave.
I'm gonna have Jenny kind of, because I'm assuming there's like,
It'd be like a gun with the serial number
yeah.
rubbed
Scratch
off.
off.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was just gonna have Jenny suggest that we burn it instead of cut it. You know, you can get the knife really hot and then
Yeah.
burn the
But
skin.
no matter what, people will know it's a slave. Now they'll just know that it's a slave that's trying to cover something up. It may not be able to be traceable back to the particular slave owner anymore, but people will know.
So is the slave mark like a general, just like this is a slave, or is it associated with like a person or owner, like the mark itself?
Sometimes the brands have different shapes, so it would be good to not perfectly remove it, but rather amorphously scar them. But again, people will know it's a slave because that's where the brand goes.
Okay, never mind then. Knowing that, I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah, sorry. That's why I wanted to interrupt, because your character knows,
Would
has
know
that
that.
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can always say Jenny suggested it. Let me cut your skin off.
Now,
You'll be fine.
What's cool is if you get the regenerate spell, you can just start straight up freeing slaves. Like, just go up to them, and you don't even have to hurt them. You just cast the regenerate, and their original skin will come back.
Okay.
I'm gonna look to Helios's father and say, so how do you treat your slaves?
We don't have any.
Oh. And she'll be like a bit surprised.
He kind of smiles a bit and says, not all the wealthy have slaves. You can simply look at the state of this house to know that. As he looks about, and yeah, the house is a bit of a mess. I have not owned them on the principle of what they represent.
Well, since we're having this conversation, Lydia, would you be interested in helping around this house for a stipend? Your freedom will be your own, but it is an opportunity for you to get back on your feet, so to say.
And Zabiel kind of adds on to that and says, Lydia, you would not be a slave any longer. You would be my employee, free to go as you wish, Although I would offer a room, a sanctuary from the outside, if you wish to have it. And Lydia kind of looks. I'm sorry if Alec wanted to say something. Go ahead.
No. Uh, okay, I would say, Alec would say, I don't think I think the idea is quite lovely. It's quite good. It will be so helpful for them, for the Lydia and everyone else who would work it. But I think it's way too early to do that kind of thing. I think the slaves need to hide for a bit. Don't you think? I mean, we're so close to the state still. It doesn't seem like quite a good right now. Quite a good idea right now.
Well, well, in terms of hiding, sir, this household is not usually visited by Templar. It should be fairly safe. I also have a basement if there is need be for hiding individuals.
Okay. So if you're so sure, and please don't need to call me sir. Just call me Alec. All right. And
Certainly,
I
sir.
appreciate your help.
I appreciate that, sir. And as this conversation's going on, Lydia's been fairly quiet. She's been kind of looking back between Astos and Zaviel and even the apparent Templar here that's advocating for her hiding. And you do see her eyes start to sort of well with tears. She looks a bit overwhelmed.
Lydia, go ahead, Asos.
There's no need to make a decision right now. This is your first real choice after being free, after all.
She just kind of stares at the ground for a moment. You can see that the tears are starting to sort of fall onto the the dirty floors of this unkempt place, and she says, "I would need a mop and some other materials." And Zavio kind of tries to pick up the mood a bit and says, "Yes, certainly. I could go fetch them from the nearby market. You can just stay here, ma'am. What is your name?" Because I don't think it... Has anybody actually said her name out loud? Lydia?
Yeah.
Okay, so he would just say her name instead. And he sort of just hurries out of the building to go fetch the objects. Lydia just kind of looks around like she's not sure what to do with herself.
You three, and I try to gather the slaves back close to me and just look at them and say, this might sound strange for you all. I actually have no idea how you guys feeling right now. But the thing is that from this day forward, you're not slaves anymore. You only have to follow your own will, not the will of another. Do you understand that? You have peace. You just have to make your peace for the moment, and we can help with the brand later.
Drivnal kind of he touches the back of his neck sort of lightly and smiles bittersweetly and says, I think I can do that.
It's all a bit sudden, but may as well try to make other people's lives better as well.
Is there anything else that somebody wants to jump in on the conversation? Otherwise, we'll transition into your ability to kind of leave this place looking inconspicuous again.
I mean, I was just gonna have Jenny say, "So, Astos, you going to give us a tour?"
I don't want to intrude on my father's privacy too much. There really isn't any rooms besides mine, my father's, my mother's, and the basement. So, if anything, we should probably get going. There is a Krothu outside.
So are we just leaving all of the slaves
here?
No. I think the cook and the boy can accompany us to Lowe's.
Okay.
Part, right?
Okay. So
I'm
we're
talking.
gonna.
Lydia, you're fine waiting here while my father goes. Is that acceptable with you?
We were supposed to talk to the dwarf brothers that we know, our connection, the low quarters, to set up with the cook and the
That's
boy.
what I was gonna do. Yeah.
I think Laliana and Lo should have a quiet job for the kid, the one who were handling the stables. After all, it's her contact anyway, so we should be fine. He should be fine, right?
Well, we should deliver this Crodlu before they start searching the streets
Yes. Let's.
too quickly.
But Helios, didn't you want to wait and see your mother?
My mother won't be back. She won't be back anytime soon. Lydia, we'll be going. Feel free to stay or go, but if you stay here, my father has work for you, if you are so inclined. Sorry to be so abrupt, but we have business we must finish up to.
She nods and for the first time actually looks up and like clasps your hand in hers and says almost in a whisper, "Thank you."
You're very welcome. Guys, clasp her hand back and give her a firm shake.
And she kind of wipes an eye and starts looking at the room with her hands on her hips and goes, "Well, I have a lot of work to do."
Thank you. And turn around and head out and see everyone else out.
And with that, you all head into the coins district. Look at how quickly I can transition this fucking music.
Really good. Really
Very
good.
quickly.
Instantaneously. This music very quiet. I'm gonna turn it way up. There, you can hear it now well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome. So even if the musics are different volumes, I can easily manipulate it. And so you're out into essentially the coins district area, and there's a sort of initial barrier to the main markets that is watched by mercenaries that are essentially employed by House Langston. You know this, Ostos. And yeah, you're on the outside of it right now.
We should get the beasts to Lowe's quarters as soon as possible to draw less attention, of course. Any ideas?
But not to the Lowe's quarters. There's a stable that he recommended further in the coins district. If you just lead the way, we take the beast and follow you, should be fine.
All right.
Yeah, Ostos will know the way. But as you're closing in on it, you hear a familiar voice. Oi! Hello?
Laviana?
Yep, it is Laliana. And she says, well, you go all right?
Yes. Just in the final part right now. So everyone else is hale and hearty.
I see. As she kind of gives the Crodlu a pat, says, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Well, thank you. Oh, you're talking about the beast, of course. I'm sorry.
She rolls her eyes. Says, so, you're going to need an insignia to go the next step of the way. And she pulls out an insignia of House Langston that looks like it is expensively built. And she says, "I'm going to need this back as soon as possible. It's borrowed." And she hands it over to you, whoever takes it.
Claudia is kind of hugging Aliana right now.
She hugs you back and says, how you doing, girl?
We got done.
I heard a bit of killing inside. I presume there's a few dead red talons.
Beastie smiles
She
very
nods.
happily.
She smiles back. And,
I ripped his throat out.
oh, alright, okay.
I think I almost died. So that was fun.
Well, I hope you got a good looting in Grigori's house. So, I'll just meet you out here to get the insignia back then.
Yes, it's fine.
I think we have a job, kind of a job for you. Since we have to turn in the creature, we have company. And I'll
do
just look back at the both slaves that are like following us.
And she kind of looks at him and then looks back at you, like expecting you to explain more.
Okay, so here's the thing. We still have the job to do. Would you be kind enough to escort them to safety? I mean, and safety, I mean your quarter, your father's quarter.
He goes, oh, yeah, no, I can't do that.
Okay.
Those
That's
are, those are, quite high, what would I say? Those goods are distinctly noticeable. Cannot handle them.
Goods. Okay, I didn't hear that, but all right. We will deal with this. Don't worry then.
And she goes, well, I'll be waiting here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh, show the insignia to the stable master.
She will do.
And she kind of just kicks off.
Start heading that way.
She seems to be in a good mood.
I wonder why.
And you reach the sort of two guardsmen or mercenaries that guard the entrance into the main of the coins district, we'll say. And they see a lot of you and go, halt. What's your business?
Kind of present the insignia a bit. We're here to deliver a Kratu for House Langston.
Very well. And they immediately just open up. And you're able to sort of just walk in, and a lot of you who've never seen the coins district before, it is very clean. It's not like the main drag of the low quarter that is kind of filled with trash and refuse. This place is very sort of clean of detritus. It's you don't see sort of any beggars or other unfortunate souls inside here. It's all kind of middle class or well-to-do people inside of various fashions, and the buildings themselves are constructed more neatly, more strongly, well-placed stone brick, that sort of thing. And you manage to pass by a few blocks within the coins district before you reach the Langston stables. And this is essentially a more open area, although there is a initial gate. And the gate has a couple mercenaries as well. And you're able to show them the insignia to come inside. And there is a stable master, as well as a stable boy or girl that, let's say stable boy for now, that is caring for a nearby kank. What do you do?
Head over to the stable master and present the insignias. We have a Kratu delivery.
And the stable master is a human of about middle age. He's got a sort of long mustache that kind of comes down to the bottom of his chin, attached to a sort of strap between them. And he looks fairly tall. He kind of looks down towards you, and you sees the insignia and says, I don't remember this beast being part of the stables. And he looks back and kind of looks at your insignia and says, Oh, very well. Go ahead and place it in the third to the left. There's a spot there for it. Does it have a preferred feed?
Did we pick up feed out of the basement?
Give me a nature check to see if
I-
you can. Anybody who looked at the feed can do a nature check to see what kind of, type of grain and maybe speckled in meat that goes in this feed.
Whenever he
Oh,
asked
God.
that to us, I would step up and say, "Only the best one, of course, my friend."
Only the best. Okay. So I'm gonna need to roll to fucking accompany that. Well,
Okay.
actually, if you just say only the best, he just kind of raises an eyebrow at you and says, "So no allergens, no preferences." Almost like this is not how someone says.
Fuck! I tried my best with the bluff and it failed. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Better than me.
you're not regarded quite so highly as a Templar here as you are in most of the rest of the city. It's almost like people don't give a shit whether or not you're a Templar here in the coins.
That's good.
And so Jenny, you kind of took a look earlier, and you saw that it was essentially I don't know how to explain it otherwise, other than just it was a high quality grain that had bits of a sort of tembo meat, which is a little bit more exotic. Frankly, you would be
Okay.
delighted if you could eat it, but it's for the beast instead.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll just say grain and meat.
you're not even gonna say the right thing.
I'm gonna say, I'll say the right thing, but I'll say it in like a non-caring way.
Sure. You're like tembo meat in high quality grain.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right. And he sort of scribbles it down and says, will we be billing the Langston family for this? Or do you have the money on hand?
Well, it's
It's billing. It's an undetermined time for the stay. So they said just to bill them.
Okay.
We're just here for a delivery.
Give me a deception, Ostos, with advantage for that, for having that insignia. Good that you had advantage.
Yes.
Good that you had the insignia. And he goes, very well, we will be billing it. And doesn't even say the price, which, when you don't say the price, it means, and you have to ask it, it means you can't afford it. And so he goes ahead and scribbles that in, says, one, and he says a sort of breed of Crodlu you may have not heard before, type of Crodlu with the high quality grain and tembo feed. Very well. Is there anything else you need?
That's all. Thank you.
You have a good day, sir.
You too. Head out.
I would have been riding on it this whole time, so I guess I'll hop down sadly and give it one last pat.
And he just looks at you like maybe you're one of the nephews of nieces of the Langston family, but gives you no further regard. And says to you, Beastie says, she will be treated well.
I'm gonna nod and say, good.
Jesus.
He there's just a pause in his demeanor, and then he goes back to working. All right. Is there anything else y'all are doing here, or do you? But you're effectively done. Besides giving the insignia back to Laliana.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
I think we're good. I was gonna say, could we head to the inn? I hate to say it, but my mom needs help with something. I just need a 5 or 10 minute break. I know it's really early.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's take a 6-minute break. 2:10.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yep.
And would you care to look at your
DMs.
game?
Sure. Yep,
Yeah.
we'll do.
That's
I'll be
also
right back
kind of
then.
why
We'll
I
grab
called a break.
Okay. No, there's no award for Bullshit King. Although I might start giving out achievements for firsts. You know, like the first time you make the DM put his
Puke.
head in his hands, and wish he wasn't there anymore. Like I might do an achievement for, please kill me or something like that.
Please do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Ow,
I
just
hope.
hurt myself.
Oh, poor Nadia.
How did you hurt yourself?
I hit my funny bone on the doorknob,
I'm
and it
sorry.
didn't feel
Oh.
so good.
I'm sorry.
Just put some ice on it.
I'm holding it.
I don't think there's anything else to do. I think Jenny would be probably like really skittish in this area and be like, we should just probably go, right, guys?
Let's get the
let's
fuck
book
on out of here.
Let's book. Get the hell out of there.
Besides handing the insignia back to Alina.
All right, sorry I'm sniveling so damn much. Jesus. Okay, so a lot of you return. Where are you returning to?
To meet Laliana in the same place, right?
Yes. So you head back through the guards once again, and just hand her back this insignia, and she goes, "So, is the Kraloo nice and safe?"
It's well taken care of.
All right. Well, the job's done, I suppose.
Would there be a way that we could take the goods that we acquired there and sell them through you or your associates?
So, the Night Runners don't deal in savory. It's not our thing.
No, I mean like items we found.
People are
in the
not
house.
goods.
Yes.
I know. That's why we don't keep them. But I thought that's what you were talking about earlier. No?
No.
Right.
It was briefly mentioned, but like art or other things of value that we might have found in there. Could we work through the Night Runners to sell them?
Yeah. We have a fence. Is there something in particular that's hard to sell?
If I can inconspicuously kind of show the crystal hourglass without broadcasting it to the entire street to her.
Oh, quite nice. She flips it over, and she goes, "Yep, you're going to have to scratch that out. That's Grigori's initials right there. We can certainly do something about that. Yes, I think we can."
Can we meet the fence, or should we work through you?
No, that's the fence only meets the Night Runners. You understand, right?
Yeah, most of it.
Well, then can't Nadia go?
She is not a Night Runner.
Oh, I thought she
I'm
was.
just an
Out of character.
associate.
Never mind. Out of character, I thought you were a night runner. Sorry.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. Although I don't think in character you know why.
Oh,
but,
okay.
No, didn't Lowe say that only elves could be night runners?
Yeah, he probably did. So
Yeah.
in
Oh, hello
general,
there.
if you know anything about elves, you can roll me a. I say you could probably roll me like a history or a nature check. Either one could do
Anyone?
to know about this.
I probably
Mm.
wouldn't,
I-
so.
I
No,
kind
13.
of remember.
This is kind of common knowledge. So a 13 is fine, Jenny. So and Alec automatically succeeds because this is about elves. Elven tribes don't have non-elves. It's just like because an elven tribe is considered a family unit.
Oh,
Like they consider each other blood relatives, even if they're not.
right.
And
Kind
you
of like
can't
the
be-
Wood Elves in like Dragon Age.
Yeah, so you can't be blood relatives with somebody who's not even the same species as you.
Right.
But they have what's called associates, and Nadia is an associate. So,
Ladiana.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I was thinking you were trying to talk to one of the group members. She goes, yes.
First of all, thank you very much for the assistance. It was really helpful. And second of all, let's talk somewhere else, right? I mean, let's go to the Lowe's. I think we should talk to him about it, right?
Sure, sure.
Turn in the job. I mean,
And so she just kind of like walks ahead, like she's guiding the, you know, the walk over to the legless cake.
oh,
The slave that was in the stable that helped us out, what race is he? Or she?
It was a he. It was a human.
Okay.
it was a kid, right? Or just a short.
There's a young, there's a young kid, but or, I mean a young guy, but close to adulthood.
Okay. Okay. Damn.
Follow along.
Yeah. Follow her.
On the way there, going up to the kid. By the way, what is your name? We never got it.
That's a great question, you son of a bitch.
I was about to ask it.
No, that's easy. His name is
NPC number 14.
he just says, "My name is Eric."
Nice to meet you. Hope you're in a better situation now, Eric.
Oh, I just realized that's your boyfriend's name. Too bad.
Yes, it is. I'm just looking. I'm just thinking.
That just happens sometime.
Oh my goodness.
I
Yeah,
mean, we have
it
Arthur
totally
NPC,
does.
right?
Yeah, like the Lost Mines thing when I named
Yeah.
the Nothic Arthur.
Let's go with the left-hand side beastie. Eric with an A.
Yeah, that's how you spell my boyfriend's name.
Good. I'm not gonna change it. Canon now.
Yep. How old is he again?
He looks like he's like 16.
Okay. I'm just
17 maybe.
imagining like a human or an elf with like
Come
big
on,
brown
Hadley, he's old.
spectacles and brown hair. Sorry.
Oof. He's got brown hair and freckles. I'm just fucking with you at this point. So
My boyfriend doesn't have freckles, so that's fine.
oh, I thought you just said that. Never mind.
No, I said
Spectacles.
big spectacles, like glasses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he doesn't have those. That requires money.
Yeah.
Award for the bullshit king. Yeah, maybe like if you lie to a god and get away with it, that
Oof.
might be like that might be an achievement. Of course, the flip side of that is it's pretty much either you get an achievement or you fail to get any more achievements in the future. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or you get that, or you die.
Yeah, kinda. Okay, so you come back to the legless kank, is what it sounds like you're doing.
Yep.
And music transition, bam.
Oh my god, that was so
Nice.
seamless. I didn't even hear a beep from the robot.
Don't you want that bloom?
Yeah.
Isn't that sad that we don't have that anymore?
Yeah.
So you arrive back at the legless kank, and I'll go ahead and transition us map-wise as well. Here you are. If you're not on the map, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, you're all here. By the way, you're not tracking health on the tokens anymore. Track the health on your character sheets. I trust you to not lie about it. So the character sheet's the better way to do it.
Is that Grip now? Behind the bar already? Damn, he's fast.
I'm fast as fuck, boy. Wait, wrong voice.
Wait a minute, what?
So that's
What in the hell?
that is a completely different. Everyone here is actually Elven. He's just a chunky Elven man.
Okay.
So you you step in. At this point, the guy at the front, like, he knows you, and Laliana's kind of stepping ahead and like talking shit with him, like, as you do, and she leads in and says, "Shall we get a table then?"
You got a what?
Okay.
A table.
Yes.
Okay.
She kind of pulls around.
She's so
Fine.
British. I didn't understand the word table. Jesus.
Table.
A table. Table.
Well, she's a little bit of a Cockney style, Londoner style, low class voice.
I'm not
Yeah.
using that, but that was awesome.
Yeah.
Doing a great accent.
Thank you. So you're all at the table now, and she goes, "So,
Done and done.
Are the slaves with you?" I think
Yeah.
they are. Right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
here,
they were
he goes and sits on the barrel over here. He's like used to just letting other people sit, and he stands, but he goes and sits on the barrel. And
Come on. I won't have that. I will stand up in my chair. Come on. You sit here.
he looks at you, and goes,
Yep.
Come
Come on. I'm waiting. Come on.
Are you sure?"
Yeah,
He looks
go
at
ahead.
the others to see if you approve. Like,
I'm not imposing anything. Just sit.
and Laliana goes, "Sit down, lad. We're all equals here." And he goes ahead and sits down and kind of looks up at you like, "I hope I don't get beheaded for this."
Don't worry.
And the kid that I totally have in my repertoire of assets. Yeah, is now if I just hold this tone long enough.
It's all right. While you're looking for that.
Yeah.
Jenny, Nadia, how long have you two been working with the? Can't gesture over towards Laviana. The Night Runners.
That's a good question, DM.
I'm
That's a
gonna
50.
I'm gonna look at Nadia and say I haven't been working with them. I've been working with Nadia.
Oh, my apologies.
So how long you been an associate of the Night Runners is up to you,
Mhm.
Nadia.
Yeah.
Because that timeline is in your control.
Oh, okay. Can I say for like a year?
Sure.
That'd be fair.
Yeah, sure. So Laliana kind of slaps your back and almost interrupts and goes, it's been 12 moons then, isn't it?"
She smiles and nods.
Oh god, that was loud. Was that me?
Don't know.
I have no idea.
The roll 20 beeping sound.
I heard it, yeah.
Yeah, I muted. I right clicked and muted the site for Roll20 since I'm not using it for anything else besides a booping.
Yeah,
Okay.
the beeping and the booping. And she kind of looks at you, Nadia, with a friendly smile, and goes, "Despite not being Elven, she's been one of our best."
She kind of wags her tail at that.
I look at everyone else in the table and just say, "Yeah, she got a Templar." Right?
Nice chair.
Thank you.
She gives Alec a thumbs up.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
I give the thumbs up back.
I have
This
to
is
fill it
hilarious.
in though. Plus, she said 2 of them, so now I have to do it again.
Hold on, I'm gonna put him to front so that I can. There, now you don't have to fill it in because he's already.
Oh no!
God damn it!
I already
There.
filled it in.
He's still got the hay in his hands. He slammed it down on the table.
Kid, put the hay down. God damn it. You're not working.
A pound of something of hay. No, he's
Oh,
got no fucking hay in his hands. I'm kidding. So he sits back. He sits back and kind of like just looks around like he's kind of bewildered as well. And the two of them look at each other like this is some wild shit.
Do we have? Can we have a waitress here or something, or do I have to order in the back?
oh, I just went to the bar for that. I was gonna go up and order a round of broy for everyone, including the 2 former slaves.
I'm gonna help you out with that then.
As far as Beastie goes, the old guy at the counter goes, "Oh, hello there, little girl. The usual then, is it?
One for everyone at our table.
How many you got?"
Um, 8.
Oh,
Aye.
8. Yeah, 8.
All right, it'll be 4 bits.
I'll hand him the 4 bits.
Okay. And hey, we got our first transaction through D&D Beyond.
Nice.
And he takes it and gladly continues serving a child.
Yay!
Yeah.
He gives you, by the way, he doesn't even give you a little one. He just gives you a normal sized one.
Excellent.
And says, "Big mug for the big girl." And pushes it ahead.
I
He
will
seems to be fond of you.
smile at him, although it's condescending. I'll smile
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what you are.
and take my giant mug of ale.
I'll help carry everything else. I mean, by everything else, I mean the 6 mugs because you're only carrying yours, I suppose.
7 mugs.
Oh, you're carrying yours. I'm carrying the other 6.
There's 8 total.
The other 7, there's 8
Oh,
total.
fuck. Okay, 7 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I assume that there'd be like a weight tray.
Nope. You just have to, they don't give you shit except for what you ask for.
Okay.
You're in the legless kank. But you get served nonetheless. You notice that when other elves get served, there's no coin transaction. It's all free for the bloodkin out here.
I hope he didn't charge me for one of those. One of them's for Laliana.
He
But I
did in
didn't
fact charge
specify,
you. Yeah.
so...
And as you bring it back, Laliana happily grabs one and starts chugging it down.
I'm going to very carefully put one in front of each of the former slaves and look them in the eye and say, "This one is yours."
The dwarf looks at it like you handed him a mug of liquid gold. And he takes it in his hands and kind of smells it first. And then Grivnal takes a deep drink, and you just hear this sort of like sigh of relief, and for the first time you see him relax his shoulders a bit. The boy looks at it and takes a sip and looks like he almost doesn't like it, but looks around and keeps drinking.
That's a smart boy.
I'm just gonna pat him and go, "The bad taste, you get used to it."
He says, "Okay."
I'm going
The
to
alcohol.
You learn to like it, boy, as Grivnal slaps his back. And he sort of jumps a little bit when it happens. But Grivnal looks like he's starting to like finally loosen up a bit.
I'm gonna hold out my mug to everyone else and say, cheers to a successful mission.
And Laliana holds up a mug
Cheers.
and says, "Aye, I'll drink to that." And
Cheers.
and drinks.
I'm gonna take a big swig out of mine.
Awesome. If you're ever drinking a shit ton, like if you start drinking lots of drinks, let me know. But otherwise, I'll just assume that you can handle one drink. And Laliana leans back and says, "So, what are you going to do with your new friends?"
Well, our last job, we protected a couple of dwarves that were mining out in the desert, and I thought, they were talking about how they could need some help. So I thought that might be good for Grivnal, but for the kid, I don't know.
Since the kid was a contact of yours, Laliana, I thought you could use him as something else right now because if you left him there, he would be dead meat. I'm sorry, kid.
He just nods. And Grivnal actually says, aye. But for this one day of freedom that you have granted us, anything that comes next is worth it. And the boy speaks up, Eric, and says, I'm good with animals.
Hmm.
With the long silence, he just sort of sinks into his seat.
See, the kid has use, so make use of it. I suppose.
Do the Night Runners have a stable where they keep their own mounts and animals?
Laliana openly laughs.
Well, you have
After-
horses, do you not?
No, of course not.
Not horses, but you know, the equivalent to horses.
No, elves don't. Elves disdain the use of mounts.
Oh, okay.
It's unelven to ride a beast.
Obviously, I need to reread the history lore we have on the game. My bad.
They have an immense pride in their ability to effectively marathon run, like no human can do.
Okay.
Even being half elven, Helio is essentially a superior marathon runner than the lot of you, except for Alec.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, so that's sort of their thing.
Gotcha.
And they're a nomadic tribe that does not use animals except for slaughter.
Well, then he can do that. You can kill animals for food, can't you? I'll say to him.
I don't like to kill them. I like to make them happy. Feed them, brush their hair, or brush their scales, polish their scales.
Yes,
Clean
but
this grill.
but where do you think the food comes from?
Says, I don't eat meat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Beastie
Oh.
just like shakes her head and she goes, "He's a slave. All he ever gets fed is grain gruel."
Oh,
Just sort of-
I forgot
sort of
about
nods
that.
along.
So any Earthu, I don't know what the equivalent of farms would be in Darksong because there's significantly less greenery, but
Yeah, I mean, there's places there's like sort of
ranches.
farms where they are allowed to. They're like sort of fenced off, but they free range, so to speak.
Are there any Earthu ranches around here by chance?
You're asking Laliana?
The table, yeah.
Oh, okay. Laliana kind of shakes her head, just shrugs.
You are not very helpful, Laliana.
Well, I think
Not when it comes to beasts, no.
Beastie, don't you have a friend in the Bronze Jakar? Don't they have stables there? I think they could use extra hands, or maybe we can find another safe place for.
Do they have stables there?
There's like a place to keep your beast momentarily, but it's not a long-term stable.
Yeah.
There are stables nearby. So that is a thing.
Okay. I'm just worried that if we leave him nearby, he'll get caught.
Well, we still have a place to hold the kid then. We'd have that mission. So let's just take a bit of rest for the moment, I suppose, because we kind of deserve it. And Alec looks at Jenny, right?
Yes.
And let's think of helping the kid further later, right? That sounds okay, I suppose. It's now available.
Did you put yes, the child is weak, Jenny?
Yes.
That's
Pulling
great.
a SAR moment.
He just kind of like looks down.
That's
like,
why I thought he looked down before.
No, that was because it's fine. It's this is just extra at this point.
Yeah, but I said that like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't read the chat often.
That's okay.
Laliana does that prove that Alec is a trustworthy fellow, along with Nadia, this completion of this task.
Oh, yeah, it sure does. Um, well, Alec, welcome to being a Night Runner Associate.
Yeah.
That's all of
Mm.
us,
Smiles.
right?
Yeah. Thanks, I suppose. I'm not diminishing anything here, of course. I'm just. I didn't expect the mission to go as well as it did. I was expecting something quite worse, actually.
He was
Thing is,
expecting to die.
no, I was not expecting for myself to die.
She
I
lied.
was expecting to think go darker or kind of bad, the way of bad that I don't like it. And at that moment, Alex likes just stand up and just walk around the table, just start looking at everyone else from the group, and just start saying, um, first of all, gotta say, as you can see, I'm not quite like the Templars you've met. Not that you all met the whole Templar group and stuff, but thing is, I I have a mind of my own. I don't think straightly as a Templar. I am trying to do my best here and there. And as you can see, I was not happy with this kind of stuff because it was against everything that I learned, and I'm not starting to doubt. Still believe in the Valashi Ray, trust in that, but I'm trying to do my best. I don't want to harm people or creatures that seem harmless. I want to protect those who protect themselves. And I want to make this place, not this exact place, but Ram itself, or the place where I will be, better. And may you have reason to not believe in me, and that being anything that we lived through. And I put, while saying that, he puts the hand on the hilt of the sword, or anything that makes you believe that I might do something wrong. You can believe in my words because they are honest ones. And I say here and again, I'm not trying to harm anyone. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to do my best.
Laliana picks up her drink and says,
Well, cheers to a Tempe with a conscience.
and finishes the drink off.
Cheers, and I will also finish my drink.
Nadia just gulps hers down.
Cheers.
Well, I've got some running to do, but it was a pleasure.
You're not
Well, yeah.
going to join us for a celebration?
Oh, I'm still on the clock.
And she
We come
winks.
back. We come back here and fence those goods to you, so you could sell them later, by chance.
Well, I could be your go-between, but the bartender can do as well.
Thank you.
Laliana,
Hmm?
whenever you're free, might I ask you a favor?
Sure.
It's something of quite urgency, I would say, but whenever you're free, of course. I will be waiting here, I suppose.
Tomorrow then.
All right. Thank you.
And she heads off.
Oh, and barkeep's name is Venalis.
Venalis. Good to know.
All right.
I look at everyone else on the table and just, shall we speak with Lao?
I was going to order another round, and I kind of
I'm
point to the
with Jenny on this one. I could use a bit of a rest after all that stress.
All right.
You might have noticed that as you came into this room, this building. Lowe is not here today.
Oof.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to turn in the quest. God damn it.
But it seems as though the news will reach Lowe one way or another.
Yeah. Um. All right. Kid.
Yes?
Can you do us a favor real quickly? You and the I forgot the name of the dwarf. Arthur actually forgot the name of the dwarf. I would say it. Alec would say it.
Grivnal.
Grivnal. Um, Kid and Grivnal because I don't know the name of the kid.
It's
And-
Eric
Okay, Eric and Grivnal.
with an A.
Could you do us a favor real quickly?
Of course, sir.
Don't call me sir, please.
Anything you
are...
want, sir.
God damn it! Stop it. You are free.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
not the
sir.
master. Ah! I'm not your master. No one is your master, right? Just it's gonna take a time to you to get used to that, but whatever. Just go and talk to wait a minute. Vanalis and ask for another drink, and I give them both. Give them both. Blah, blah. Give one iron for them both to go get something to eat in the with the barkeep.
Man, he looks at this iron like you just gave him a fortune.
Yeah.
He says, a meal for ourselves and drinks for all?
Sure. But wait for a bit to deliver the drinks. Just eat something first, all right?
Yes, sir. And
Call me sir.
rushes off before you could even say, call me sir. And he orders with 4 more bits. What you call it? The drinks, the broy, and with 2 bits orders the food. So there's still 4 bits left over. from
Okay,
the
so
iron.
I'll spend 6 bits whenever I discover how to handle gold in D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
Click
gold is
on
iron.
the gold and it pops up.
Click
Yeah,
on
you
the
should just be able to.
equipment,
You should
and then
just be able to click on the
currency.
currency,
Yeah,
and then on the
under-
top you can just change
Okay.
the number. Don't do the add and subtract thing. It's not like very necessary.
Okay, got it.
And it says
I
what
can
it
if you want.
is. Yeah, and it says what the conversion rate underneath is. So 1 gold is 10 silver, and 5 silver is 1 electrum, and so on and so
So we
forth.
don't even use electrum. So it's just
Yeah. Or
we use
platinum, or whatever.
platinum, gold, and silver for bronze, iron, and you can just
I'm
think of
gonna
it.
close my window.
It's the 10 by 10 system. So it's always by tens. So the bottom of the barrel is the silver, and then you just work your way up from there.
Yep. We always have the conversion rates on the handout as well.
Yeah, we
I'm
have the
still
handout.
kind of
in
lost,
case
but I'll get the hang of it.
yeah,
Um,
y'all need to
and
because I'm not gonna call it by gold, silver, and platinum ever again.
Okay.
So. All right.
After that, I'm gonna turn to Ostas and say, okay, so while they all are away, um, what did we get from that house? The loot.
I stole a book. I gave it to Astos though.
Yes. I'll pull out the book. I will pull out the obsidian cleaver that was by
Ooh,
Grivnal.
shiny.
I will pull out the crystal hourglass. I will look over towards Alec. You have the lockbox.
Oh yeah, I do, and
You
I'm
do?
gonna pick it up and put it on the table.
And you should already know what the lockbox's contents are.
Yeah. Different page of notes, but yeah, we have it.
Okay.
Was there? Oh, there's this pouch from the guard captain. 17 bits were then. I just haven't added it to anything else yet. Is there anything else?
I don't
think
think
so.
so.
Wasn't there some stuff in the basement? There was a saddlebags or a saddle.
Did we
Uh,
even grab that?
I think
Yeah, we
put the
did.
saddle
You guys-
and the saddlebags on the creature.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was on the creature because we had to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you have
And
to-
I didn't hear you say you took it off, so
Yeah.
you don't have many more.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oof.
Put the herbalism kit and supplies up there. Some herbs. I know how to use
Ooh.
these. These are nifty.
Beastie's gonna like fondle that.
That's weird.
I think that's
Alright.
about it, though.
All right. So if we split up, how much for each?
Well, for the hourglass is 25 iron. DM, just for sake of expediency, are we gonna get full price on these from the fence?
Roll me, for the fun of it, so what happens is the fence takes 10% off
Mhm.
for being able to fence it, and
Mhm.
then they're going to be able to sell it anywhere between its full price to about half of what it's worth.
1d50.
So give me a just give me a general D100 roll, and I will just kind of give a general number. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be rounded by me.
Okay, who wants to roll it? Money roll.
I don't
I'm
trust
good.
myself.
I'll let you guys.
I can roll it. It's a
Okay.
D100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roll a D100.
Yay!
Okay. So I'll say that you are able to sell it for about. Is this what's the item's worth? 25 iron?
25 iron. Yeah.
I'll say that you're able to sell it for. Let's see, if 20% of 25 is 5,
Mhm.
then you can sell it for 80%, which means that it was sold for 20 iron,
Mhm.
and they take 2 iron off the top, and you get 18 iron.
Okay. The lockbox had 49 iron,
Okay.
10 gems worth 5 iron apiece, and a healing potion.
Are we gonna get? What's the price on the gems?
Yeah, we could sell those. I don't
When
see
when
an issue
gems
with
have a
that.
price, they're sold at full price. Gems are very liquid in Dark Sun.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes things are paid with gems instead of money.
So sorry. What was how much or how much iron was in the lockbox?
So it was 49 loose iron, and with the gems that would be 50 iron, so it'd be 99 total.
Okay.
Got 99 iron.
A question, a really
But,
quick question.
Exactly, Aaron. Sorry,
got
I was
99
with you.
Okay, sorry. About the gems, is there any one of those gems, the gem that Astos needs to cast
No.
some particular spell?
What's the
No, he
particular
needs
spell's cost?
the
Yeah, like
100
a sun.
gold. You
No.
said it's like a sunstone thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
dune,
like
a
a-
dune drop.
Yeah, none of those would be the right ones. So
Yeah.
Correct.
we had 18 iron for the thing, 99 iron total from the lockbox. How much?
117 total. Done.
Yeah. How much? How many bits was on the captain?
So there were 17 bits in the pouch from the captain.
Okay.
The obsidian cleaver, I believe, sold for 5 times the value. If I remember correctly. Let's see what I noted. 5 times normal value of a typical dagger operates as an obsidian dagger. Did anyone want to use the obsidian cleaver as a dagger?
Obsidian weapons tend to break. They tend to not shatter right away when you critically fail with them. So they tend to be a bit more hardy.
Who can use it?
I can. But
I think I can as well.
Nadia can use daggers as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I feel like the rogue make the dagger that will be less likely to break. To be honest.
I tend
So.
to stay far away sometimes, so somebody else can take the dagger.
I'll do.
Yeah, I was gonna say Beastie's gonna like grab that with her foot and slide it across the table to Nadia.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm marking that on my inventory, so please be free to mark it.
So what I'll do is just say, so this will be a good practice for you, Lexi. Go to your equipment.
All right.
Click on the red thing that says manage equipment. It's kind of on the top right.
Gotcha.
Type in on the search dagger.
Dagger. All right.
Okay. Add item. And with this new item that you add, if you click it once, it'll go in. And then in your inventory where the dagger is, rename it.
So it's giving me a list like dagger plus one, dagger
Yeah,
of venom.
just dagger. Just dagger.
Okay. All right.
So add the just dagger.
All right.
And then go back to your inventory, click on the dagger, and you should be able to customize it. You should be able to rename it Obsidian Dagger. And that will let me know that if you quickly fail with it, it's not going to shatter right away. Sound good?
Yeah. You said customized, right?
Yeah, customize. And
Okay.
there should be like a field for the name.
Could you spell?
Just do your best at it, and I'll change it later if it's wrong. As long as I get the gist of it. All right. Thank you. So I just want to make sure each person knows how to, like, pull in stuff in the sheet well. That way we can just get into a tempo of just saying, hey, go ahead and add, a dagger into your inventory and name it an obsidian dagger. That's where I want to be at. Okay.
Did I hit wilt?
Yeah. If you want to have it in your attack list.
All right.
If we split the cash, we can each take, hold on, 23 iron and 3 bits, and then that leaves a little extra, we can put 2 iron and 2 bits in the loot, just to have some.
Sure. Sorry, that was 23 iron and
3 bits.
3 bits. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and everybody add 23 iron and 3 bits to your inventories. Iron is effectively gold, bits is effectively silver. And then remove the pile of money, or replace it with, 2 iron you said?
Yeah, we get 2 iron and 2 bits in the party treasure, essentially.
Can someone do that in the shared treasure, please?
I can grab it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we
Where
should
do
always.
I find the money?
So you go to equipment, and then it's on the top right where it says currency. So you just
Okay.
click on it.
You just click it, and then at the top you can just change the number, or you can add the number.
Okay, so how much did I get?
23 iron and 3 bits.
3 bits. Yep, I have it put in chat too, in case you guys need a reference.
And iron is gold and bits is silver.
And how much is the bit?
3 bits.
3 bits.
3, sorry, yeah.
All right. Got it.
I'm gonna. Beastie has been like fondling that herbalism kit. She's just gonna kind of like pull it towards herself, like just for me.
I would very much like to share that if anything, BC. Could use that. It's quite common in my profession.
We could make it a communal herbalism kit.
Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea.
Okay.
So whose inventory is it going into, or are you keeping it in the communal pot?
It can go in his. That's fine.
I was thinking the communal pot, but
I'll do the communal pot. Estos has a week back.
or we could just all have it in our inventory and just pretend it's in the
No.
communal pot. No, because no. Okay, then never mind.
Nope. Just a no round.
I'd say for now on the Erdlu, maybe if we're out and about, I pick it up
One-
in case.
Yeah, so whoever's going to use the thing, you can, if you want to have it on the Erdlu, you can do the thing where you have the quantity of it equals 0.
Okay.
And that's an indication. Anything that you have, if you set the quantity to 0, we can assume it's on the Erdlu. That's the way you can do it. Instead of having to remove the whole object, you can just set the quantity to 0, and we'll know like what that means.
So is Beastie proficient in it?
Yeah, all druids are proficient in herbalism kits.
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
she's like, yeah, I want it.
So Beastie, are you familiar with how to use that?
Yes.
It makes sense for you to carry it. Then I've seen them. I have the idea of how to use them, but I haven't used them myself before. I mainly use the herbs and potions and such, so I suppose I use them after the fact.
Looks like we got one collector and one maker.
Mhm.
In that case, it sounds like Beastie, go ahead and put that in your inventory, and if you will keep it in Beastie's inventory. If you want to keep it on the Erlu, just set the quantity to 0,
Okay.
and that'll signify it's on the
Yeah.
Erlu.
I put the weight on the Erlu. I added it in Roll20 to the Erlu.
I
and
think
tossed it on.
I don't think we need to track the Erdlu's carry capacity unless you start putting like barrels of water on them. But like
Okay.
otherwise I think the only way I care to track it to make it easy on everyone and also make it easy to track is if you have anything that you would normally only have one of and you want on the Erdlu, like I mentioned, set the quantity to 0. That tells us where it is.
Mhm.
If you put it back on yourself, set the quantity back to 1. And in the case where it's rations and water, whether you might have more than one, I suggest you create, and I've done this for a couple people already. I suggest you create a custom item that is called water skin, comma, on Erdlu. And that's how you control it.
Okay.
That way you don't have to keep bouncing back between an Erdlu sheet. My goal is that we don't have an Erdlu sheet. That's my goal. To the point in which there's just no there's no communal pot. I mean, unless you're just because nobody wants to divvy it out yet. But the idea is your sheets have everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll eventually get there. Okay, are we all done with the item stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. You guys are going to have 1 week to do whatever you want. I would like each of you to tell me what your plans are to, whatever goals you have that you want to complete in this week. If you have any goals, if there's something to role play, that can be done too. But
I have something to RP.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna ask each person to tell me what those things are. I'm gonna list them out, and then I'm gonna divvy out how it's done. Sound good?
Okay.
Nadia, what do you want to do in this week?
I want I spend a little bit of time with Astos. For RP reasons. You should know
Okay.
what they are.
I do. Anything else? You got a whole week.
And she would also try to find a good sword or rapier or something.
Purchase a rapier.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Jenny, unless you want to skip, I can go to somebody else who's ready.
Just skip me because I'm not ready. I can't
Okay.
think of anything.
Who's ready?
I have an idea.
Okay, Ostos.
So I'd definitely be willing to spend time with Nadia, and everyone else is, my plans are pretty kind of loose. I would, if Lydia is willing to, teach her how to read.
Okay, it's going to take you
It's-
approximately 1 year and 250 iron.
I mean, I'm not expecting it to be a quick process.
Yeah.
But I'll mark 7 days off the year.
Yeah. Now, normally that would cost her. If you're willing to do this pro bono, this will cost you a very small fraction of that original cost, because the 250 is meant to be essentially the cost of supplies and a tutor. So I would say it would only cost you 50 iron to complete this task over the year, but it's still going to take the year.
That's fine.
So this is like a serious commitment. We can do is in your notes, you can track the financial and labor progress of getting this done. Does that sound good?
Yep. Do you want me to do any cost right now? Or
You can spread out the cost throughout the whole year as long as you finish paying the cost before you finish the year of teaching.
okay, fair enough.
And considering that you're the tutor and you're motivated in this, I'm actually going to cut the time down to half a year, because you can really devote the time, and this is a person who wants to learn. Because Lydia does want to learn.
Okay.
So we'll make it a half year instead, and 50 iron cost. But this is like a serious commitment, okay?
Okay.
You can put in that you've put in a week worth of effort on this endeavor, and you don't have to put money in yet.
Okay. I'll put in notes.
But the idea is that, you're probably buying like ink, quills, parchments to like help her
Samples
read and
and
write.
depictions.
Yeah, basically do work in progress stuff and maybe book materials and that kind of thing. Okay, so
Sounds good.
also, are you I have to ask this, are you interested in learning about the divination crystal? That was something you needed to research as well.
Yes, actually, I don't think it would take all day every day
No.
teaching, or I'd probably give examples of homework. But yeah, is there any buying out like a jeweler's kit? Is there any cost I could deduct from that?
You think
Right,
it might
that's
not
a
be
deduct.
so much a jeweler's kit as magical research.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically just poring over your father's magical tomes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd definitely look into that as well.
Okay, so teach Lydia and crystal research. You can pack that in, but you're now you're completely busy.
Okay.
Okay.
Still enough time to hang out with Nadia?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
as long as it's not like for days. I think it's just my guess is it's not for days and days. Otherwise,
No.
you might have to choose something. All right, Alec.
Oh, he just said BRB.
Okay.
I'm back here. I need to pee.
Okay, go ahead and pee.
thank you.
Instead, Beastie.
Weaving.
Weaving.
I still have that deal with House Langston. I want to get some weaving done.
Did anything happen to that guy?
That will be described by me later.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I've been working with, also I want to take, Grivnall to the two brothers and introduce them.
Okay. So,
That's
Rivenal.
something I would have done after our, chat session at Lowe's at the Legless Kank,
Yeah.
like, right away.
That's fine. And you technically have like a week and a day, if I want to be really precise.
Yeah.
Okay, so Grivnall, helping Grivnall, and otherwise weaving. All right. Now we'll go to Jenny.
I still can't think of anything. This
Okay.
sucks. Because I can't use the herbalism kit because I don't have proficiency in it. I can't buy new armor because I don't have enough money.
I mean, you could sell some books that you might have found somewhere.
Oh, that's the point. How much would it cost to upgrade my armor? Let me even see if I can. I have.
It's okay because I was thinking about Jenny just getting drunk all week because I literally cannot think of anything to do as a ranger except for going hunting and
Yeah, you could
possibly
go-
getting killed by a creature because she's hunting by herself.
Well, just don't go too far from the city, and you won't find anything crazy. Yeah, you could go. You could spend your time hunting and attempting to, like, make a trade that way. It's not extremely like lucrative, but you certainly pay your own way, so that
Yeah.
throughout this week you don't have to be paying cost of living and that kind of thing. So you
Yeah,
pay your
like
cost of living, and I might even have like a little hunting scene for you, where maybe you catch something and then you can sell its hide, or something like that. So we could
yeah.
do. I think hunting is the name of the
Okay.
game for you.
Yeah.
And do we have Alec back? Oh, sorry. Do you have anything else?
Oh, and then of course trying to sell that book, but I don't know. Part of me was gonna try and read it, but apparently it costs a lot of money, and I wouldn't probably be able to do it by myself. So.
Okay. Well, I'll just put book question mark in case you make up your mind on what you want to do with that. Alec, are you back?
Yes.
Okay, you're back. What's your plan for this week?
The week?
Yeah, you got a week, and I mean you got a week and half a day. Of time.
The next day, I wanted to.
Just tell me the whole week's plan. Because
Okay.
I'm gonna role play these things out by my design.
I wanted to talk to Laliana first on the day that I just asked her for a moment, talking to her.
Liliana talk. What else?
I wanted to just visit Mama. Now
Okay.
everything's okay. Nothing much. We don't need to go into that if you want to.
Okay, so we'll just say that you did it.
Okay. And I actually wanted to. Oh fuck! I wanted to talk to my boss.
Okay. And her name is Bella Luna. So we will visit
Okay.
Bella Luna. But now that you're implicated, the Night Runners are comfortable with you talking with your Templars again. All right. So we got everything down. So, Nadia, you are able to find a rapier for a cost of you can purchase two types of rapiers that are available. One is obsidian and costs effectively 30 iron, and the other one is just made out of bone. But that one only costs 5 iron.
Ooh. So right now I have 23 iron. I'm gonna try to ask Astos if he can help me out.
Okay. That's a good segue, because you wanted to talk to Ostos too. The two of you meet up one day,
Yes.
and we'll say you meet up in the old bronze Jakar.
Much more
All
comfortable.
right.
Yeah.
A lot less comfortable.
I'm not here at the moment.
More
I'm
comfortable
putting-
for some and less comfortable for others. You know.
I'm not here at the moment. I'm putting myself outside by the fountain.
Okay. And go ahead and discuss what you want to discuss. Keep in mind we have 5 players here that each need to do their own thing, though. So let's keep each one brief.
I might do some shopping off screen for like some arrows and a shield.
Sure,
That's
go
okay.
ahead. Yeah, you can buy those. Just go ahead and do what you need.
Hi, Nadia.
I need help, Astos.
What do you need help with?
I'm a bit low on with iron. Trying to find a suitable sword.
Oh, well, what kind are you looking for? And do you know the price ranges of them?
Obsidian. Yes. The price range is 30. Iron.
That is pretty expensive.
I have 23.
Well, you've watched my back pretty well. Well, you've been out doing these crazy things I never would have imagined doing before. So, here. And I will slide over 15 iron.
Oof.
Aw, yay.
Enough for you to get something new. Probably at least saved my life at least twice now. and enough that you can keep on eating for a bit too. Uh, I'll deduct the 15 iron from my inventory.
And I'll add it.
If you were playing anything, Aaron, you have it minimized.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was messaging you about that.
Yeah, I just need to break that habit. I'm used to doing that. I'll eventually remember. Thank you for that.
Also, I have a
Yes.
bit of a secret.
So we all have our secrets a bit.
So you kind of see her scoot like really, really close to you, and she shows a book.
Oh, well, that's interesting. May I look at it?
She politely slides it over to your lap.
Okay. I'll keep it underneath the table, not at you. Open it up. What do I see?
You see
Um,
spells.
Yeah, you see arcane symbolism.
Oh. I'll kind of look at her surprised, kind of shut it and kind of hide it real quick. I was not expecting this. Okay. So this is yours?
She nods.
Well, we should probably go somewhere else to talk about this. This is
She takes the book back and hides it.
yeah, not quite what I was expecting. Yes.
I thought you would understand better.
I almost maybe. Do you want to go back to my house where that's public area?
Nods.
So head back to the Hind Zone. Yeah. Once we get there, kind of pull her apart, kind of talk to Lydia, tell her we want some privacy and all that. But look over towards Nadia. Can I see it again?
She hands it over.
So I'll just give a read through of it, and so you wrote this, or
Would she have wrote it? I think she would have.
Yeah, she has to.
Yep.
It's her own. So you know that arcane spell books are all kind of different. They can be written in Draconic. They can be written in Common. They can be written with symbolism alone for those who aren't even literate. It looks like, from your eyes, it looks like, despite that she isn't a reader and writer, she has tapped into something symbolic about Arcana. It's not as elegant as perhaps your kind of arcane writing, but it's there, and you see what looks like a number of sort of first tier. By first tier, I mean kind of like first level spells amongst these. It looks like she has just sort of recently started untapping this.
can pause and look at it for a bit and look at it. You do know what it means to have this in the city.
It's dangerous. I know.
Does anyone else know?
No. Well, Laliana, she knows.
Okay. Look a little more nervous about it.
She's good people. She won't tell.
She's known for a while.
A year, you heard?
Huh?
A year.
A year.
If you remember
Okay,
previously
yeah.
in the last conversation.
Yeah. Just kind of thinking. Well, as I said before, you and the others have saved my life. multiple times, and we kind of have to look out for each other, especially, kind of, they have birds in Dark Sun, right?
Yeah, they're mostly like buzzards and vulture-like creatures, but there's some there's some like gulls out there too.
I'll actually do something a little more simple. I will use prestidigitation. I can create a illusory image that can fit in my hand, and I'll kind of pull out like a flower in my hand. Kind of gesture towards her. You're not alone, and what you know and what you dabble in. Just be very careful with this going forward. I'll kind of shut the book and give it back to her.
She hides it really quick and she says, "Thanks for understanding. I had to tell somebody else that would know."
Kind of look a little nervous. Is it that obvious?
Maybe just a little bit. She kind of giggles a little bit.
It is.
not- Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much for confiding in me. That means a lot, Nadia. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess she would lightly hug Ostos and then go on her merry way to buy the sword.
Okay. So 30 iron.
Yep.
Sounds like you have 8 left, even after buying it.
Yep.
And go ahead and make that exchange, and then add in a rapier, and rename it to Obsidian 1.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right. So Nadia's portion of the week is more or less over, but Nadia, you probably had a lot more time left over. Is there any thing that you would otherwise do? Run kind of simple odd jobs for the association?
I would.
Okay.
I would definitely do that.
So besides this one day, your rations and stuff will be essentially paid for.
Right.
There's still a matter of well, I'd say you have board in the legless kank.
Mm-hmm.
So I think your costs of living are covered.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Astos.
One more administrative thing.
Sure.
Is there any stipend that you want me to pay for Lydia's service for the household? Because I wasn't intending necessarily for the father to take care of it.
Your father wants to take care of it.
Okay.
He said that he needs to have the house in order. That he doesn't, and he seems to be busy all the time with his paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually a boon for him, and he's willing to pay for it.
Okay. Cool.
Anytime you come back to the family household, you see Lydia's already done excellent work in sort of tidying the place up and making it a proper home. And you approach her about teaching her how to read. Do you want to roleplay out the part about teaching how to read, or how do you want to handle that?
I'd actually, approach her and see if she wanted to first and everything. So,
Yeah.
go through that. When it comes to like actual lessons and everything, that can be skipped.
Okay. So, one day you approach her and I guess what do you say?
Lydia,
Hi, sir.
you don't need to call me sir.
She laughs a bit and goes, "That's a hard habit to break. What do you need, Astos?"
Well, kind of gesture over towards. I'm sure there's at least stacks of paper at this point. Probably more neatly organized.
Yeah, they've been kind of put away so that she can clean the house first. But there's definite progress being made. Your father kind of fucked up the house ever since you headed out to journey, and since the missing mother.
Yeah. I'll gesture towards some of the papers. I have a favor to ask you. But in order for you to, I'm going to kind of like pull out a piece of paper and I'm going to write something down. And I'll tell you what it is later, yeah. And
Okay.
I'll kind of like rip it out from my book and hand it to her. I'm gonna say,
All right.
I want you to later on, when you can, let me know if you're interested in this, and I'll hand her that piece of paper.
She looks at it and says, I'm interested in this, and she kind of moves the paper about. Like, clearly she can't read it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, the writing on there. And if you can't read it, if you want to learn how to read, I will teach you.
For a moment, there's a pause from her, and then this sort of great big smile creeps up on her face, and she goes, I've always dreamed of reading books, the stories of fiction and heroes.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
I would love to learn. I would love to learn.
I will pull out the book that we got from yours as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that.
I'll hand the book over to her. Here's one of those stories that you speak of, and if you have time, we'll start today.
She puts her hand on the book and kind of slides it across the cover, kind of feeling it, and says, "I have some time today," as she smiles, and I think that's probably as good as we're gonna get for segue. We can kind of roleplay more occasionally as she learns more and more. But for the now, it's like this is what an alphabet is, you know.
Yeah.
So okay, and next is the research about the crystal. How do you want to handle that? So, for example, one day your father's home, let's say.
Yeah, I kind of set it up. All the pieces kind of like in order. I think they kind of fit together a bit. My father's home, kind of pull them into the room where I kind of have it set up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, I found this out in the caves. Well, my companions, I found this out in the caves. We were chasing after some jostle. Does this look like anything you've seen before, Father? Papa?
Of course, Papa. He says, let me get a good look at it, son.
Yeah, I'll definitely make way for him to take a look at it.
Sure. And, okay, I'll just, like, can I just throw this picture, copy a link? I like the idea of copying, like, links and then throwing the picture on. No? You really gonna...
You want to take a snippet, worst case?
Fucking hell. I think I might actually have to just save the image on the desktop. So, he takes a closer, Jesus, speak English. He takes a closer look at the object, and quota exceeded. I can no longer put any more objects on Roll20. This is why I want to abandon this shit. Jesus Christ. I can't wait to get rid of this garbage. Yeah, so I can no longer... I have to, like, delete maps before I can start showing pictures on there. Let me do a roll for him. Let's see, what would his... Okay. He takes a look at that, and he kind of takes a look at it for, I'd say, about 5 or 10 minutes. And he looks up at you and says, do you already know that this is filled with divination magic?
It's about the extent of what I know.
Are all the pieces present? Is this it?
That I found at the time.
And he moves over and, like, shoves a bunch of objects aside, and you hear Lydia just sigh loudly. And he pulls out a jeweler's kit. And he says, I will need a day to repair this.
By all means, thank you, Papa.
And a day passes by, and you return back to the house, and you see he's been sort of feverishly putting this together. And the next time you come in the house, he gets up and just starts talking fast. He's like, he starts saying, "What you found is very interesting, son. It appears that there are two pathways of divination magic that are occurring with this particular object." And you just hear Lydia say, you know, "Slow your breathing. Let me get you a drink." And he kind of looks over and sits himself down and pulls a chair aside for you.
Sit down.
And so he pushes the gem forward and goes, "Now the divination magic creates communication on two different pathways, or at least it once did. What you're seeing here is essentially traces, echoes of communication that once were. One leads to, well, I could attempt to triangulate it, but it leads to another object.
Oh.
The other is was a communication line to an individual. I have already done the work to find where that is. And what's very interesting is the location in which this divination magic was transporting information to. It was transporting information to Yaramoke.
Do I know where that is?
Roll history check.
Let's see. D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond!
Come on, Enrico.
Okay, so 23. Okay, time to fucking tell you about Yaramoke.
Can I just interrupt and say I was muted and dying of laughter because in my mind I was totally singing the D&D Beyond theme song.
Yeah, I can't. You know, it's Critical Role that turned me on to.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, so getting back to Yaramoke. You know what? Let's use different music for this. You know what I'm saying?
You got the secret.
Ooh.
And so there was once a city called Yaramoke to the north. Yaramoke was a prosperous city somewhere between Uruk and Ram. And like any other, it had a multitude of people living there. It traded amongst Uruk and Ram, and Draj as well. And it paid its slaves annually, as it does to the dragon. Now that probably just made you have two new questions. What do you mean by annual slaves? And what do you mean the dragon?
Yeah.
There was once a time. Well, let's back up a moment. Anyone who lives in a city knows that every year the Templar gather their gift. It's simply known as the gift. And the gift is approximately 1,000 prisoners and slaves. They are then marched outside of their respective cities for the dragon to claim them.
This is only Yaramuke or only Uruk?
We're getting there.
Okay.
Mr. 23.
Oh God.
The dragon would claim them, and those 1,000 individuals would be no more. Yaramuke, one year, decided that they would not give slaves. And as a result, the dragon came, and it spent the next month destroying every building and killing everyone inside the entire city.
Oh.
And slaying the sorcerer king. I think it was a queen. The sorcerer queen inside.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
This, as the dragon put it, was a reminder to all city-states that they have to pay their gift. And forever after, the gift was raised from about 800 or 900 so to 1,000, because everybody had to compensate for the loss of Yaramoke. Yaramoke is a ruined city. The end.
Oh. Well. I will kind of go over the gist of what happened with the Jaws Hall and explain that whole adventure in the cave and everything, and mention the necklace and the might of seed ink to Savio.
Seems interesting. As you're speaking to him, he likes to take notes. Seed ink. A Jaws Hall, you said. A Jaws Hall Arcanist.
Yes, he's casting spells that I can barely scratching the surface on now. It's pretty impressive for such a small stature.
It's not the stature, but their lack of organization that makes this seem absurd. But I trust you, son. What that means, that Jaws Hall does not work alone. Someone helped teach it that magic. And I might assume, and he looks down at the crystal, that where the message leads may tell you more of the story.
I'll send my hand out for it.
And he stops a moment and says, "Son, if you were to go to Yaramoke, you should know that it's not safe. If there aren't bandits and brigands, then there are beasts of other sorts there. But if you were to visit, there is a mushroom I'm after. It's called the grave mushroom. It grows out of the pit where the gift is laid. It's if you happen to be there already, I would appreciate the mushroom."
I kind of reach my hand out for the crystal. I'll let the others know about this, and if we find ourselves headed up that way, or the one is feeling a bit adventurous again, I'll most certainly keep my eye out for it if we do head that way, and I'll be safe.
And son, the time of the gift is soon. Stay clear of the Templar.
Will do, Papa.
Okay, that's going to conclude our bit
Uh-huh.
with you.
Yep, sounds good.
Feeling good?
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so that is the gift is by all cities, then.
Yes.
Yeesh.
All cities must give a gift. And the nearby cities to Yaramoke, they give their gift there, in Yaramoke itself.
Oh, okay.
It's a sort of like, you better remember what happened. Sort of
This
thing.
dragon thing is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, the dragon.
Okay.
There's only by the way, there's Dark Sun lore in Dark Sun lore. There is only one dragon. There is the dragon, the one that collects these souls. All right, Beastie. Let's do the Grivnal part as RP and the weaving part as like numbers. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah. I also wanted to know, if I were to exchange my armor, I assume I just pay the price difference. I don't like it's not going to change price because I'm smaller, since it has to be fitted, and that's part of that cost.
Yeah, so fitting, when it comes to armor and things like that, yeah, fitting is going to, the cost is going to be the same. But I will allow an exchange straight up. If you give your old armor to the armorer and then pay the difference, that works by them.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. It'll cost me 35 iron, but I want that armor, so.
Hey, fair enough. Extra AC is good. Okay, so you go ahead and make that exchange, and then let's put away the Yaramoke music.
Such ominous armor I'm buying.
Yeah. So you're hang out in Rom and Grivnal's nearby. and it's probably early because Grivelal doesn't know where to go. He's just sitting in this tavern, kind of having his drink, wondering what future he has yet.
Yeah. So when we're done doing our talking, I'll go up to him and I'll take him by the hand and be like, okay, we have to go get you settled now.
Aye. Let's see what we can accomplish.
And they told us where they were staying. I don't remember where, but it was somewhere,
I think I didn't give specifics, but that you knew was good enough.
yeah, it was, they stayed in the low quarter to the east, or the west side, I think.
Yeah, I think it was probably on the edge of the low quarter, actually in the official quarter.
Yeah.
Would be my guess, because the low quarter is kind of more for the elves, but or for the impoverished. But yeah, they're hanging out in it's like a small, modest building where they look like they probably, plan their next little expedition and kind of like handle artifacts that they find and that sort of thing. And you see, I'm gonna remember these names. Norbus and Doslo.
Yes.
So you see Doslo first, and he goes,
Yay.
"Ah, Beastie, how you been?
Hi, Daslo. I brought you a friend.
Ah, did ya? Hello, the name's Doslo." And Rivnal kind of looks over at you and back at Doslo and goes,
Aye. The name is Grivnal. A pleasure to meet you.
And Norbus starts to walk over. It looks like he's been working on like polishing an artifact, getting the sort of heavy dirt off of it. And Norbus says, what do you got for us, Beastie?"
I thought you guys might need some help with your excavating, and I have my friend Grivnal here, who's also a dwarf, and he's mostly a good cook, but he could learn quick and help you guys with your jobs.
Doslo goes,
Oh, we need a cook. I want to eat something good for once, Norbus.
and Norbus says,
Shut up. But a miner. Aye, we could use a miner.
and Grivnal says,
Aye, I did mine for some time before I became a chef. But I can do both.
and they look at each other. Beastie, give me. I'll let you decide. Do you want to be the one that has the advantaged persuasion, or do you want Grivnal to be the one with the advantaged persuasion? Because it could be either one of you.
His persuasion is probably better than mine, so I will give him advantage, and I'll say, he doesn't have a pick, but, I can get him one, so he can help you guys.
Okay, I'll give you a +1 on that, because you just covered some cost potentially. +1 hits a 20. So Doslo goes,
Come on, please, Norbus. We've been eating gruel for 10 days.
and Norbus scratches his head and says,
It's not the food, Doslo. It's the mining. But yes, we could use a miner from time to time. And we're actually about to head out back to the old dig site. It looks like we've uncovered some more. No gift this time, so it's been quite safe.
Yeah, we killed all of them.
and Grivnal looks back at you and says, "Did you now?" I believe it. And also pats you on the head, like in a nice way, not condescending, and goes, "Aye, she's quite a killer. Knows how to bite a throat or two, that's for sure."
I'm gonna grin with my very sharp little cannibal teeth.
Grimnall looks like just like ever so uncomfortable, and goes, well, it's her that I owe my freedom to as well. And they nod, and Dazlo stares at Norbus for a while, and Norbus goes, all right, but the pay won't be great. And and Grimnall says, that's fine for me. If I can eat and I can sleep, I'm a free man. And he kind of looks back at you, Beastie, meaningfully, with a smile. And
I'm gonna give him a big smile and nod.
And they say, Norbert says, you can start in 2 days, but we'll give you lodgings for now, and if you need a meal or two, that's fine, but you'll have to cook it. And they start talking about business, and it becomes evident that your job might be done here. And
Okay.
Gripnall kind of looks back at you and says, thank you, little girl.
I'm going to flip Grivnall the cost of a dagger and a pick, which a pick is 2 gold and so is a dagger, right? So they'd be 2 iron each
Okay.
for a, generic sort of.
And reduce one bit of the cost there. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking about when your size. For his size, that's normal. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, you slip him the money, and he kind of bows his head to you a little bit.
For and I'll tell him, for your dagger and pick to get you started, and he should still have the 5 iron I gave him before, so he should be good for buying himself some food and stuff.
Yeah, he's got like a nice little windfall to lean back on for a while.
And I'll give him, I'll give him a hug and wave at the others, and
he gives you a big hug and squeezes you, and says, "I'll be sure to earn this freedom. Visit once in a while, will you?"
you haven't seen the last of me.
And he smiles and picks himself up from the from the kneel that he was at with you, and says, "All right, who wants a freshly cooked meal?" And you just hear Dazzler go, "Me first!" And with that, I think we can close that out.
Yep.
All right, weaving. Weaving is going to cover the cost of your week's expenses and possibly then some. So let's talk about the and possibly then some. I want you to roll a weaving roll. This will be for your performance to see if, in addition of covering your cost of food, drink, and board, that you make some money.
Yeah.
So give me the one solid roll, and then I'll dictate what that means for you. And I will allow weaving to be done based on dexterity. So if you're proficient with something that is dexterity, you can just roll that.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't have an option to click my.
Yeah. So just click any dexterity skill in which you're proficient, and if you have none, then roll one and add your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so it's a 19. So you're able to build a fairly beautiful tapestry. It's not made out of the fine ingredients that nobles, would brag about, but it's quite nice. Is there
Although I
anything
do
about the?
I have the silt runner scales. I would polish some of them up and attach them to the tapestry.
Okay.
Bore through
Nice.
them and use them as decoration.
Go ahead and remove your scales, and I'll add that to the calculation. Sound good?
Add 39 of them.
All right, so you'll be able to make a nice big tapestry that utilizes them quite well then. And unless you want to hold some off.
Nah.
Okay. All right, and you produce it, and I would say with the 19 and the use of scales, that you're able to produce something that for the weaving profession is a good sale. I'm going to give you... I have to be judicious about this. I'm going to say because of the scales, the scales is the big picture here. And because of the good roll and because you had a whole week to really nail this down, you get this is a 5 iron piece, which is a lot more than a lot of typical tapestries go for.
Okay.
And I will say, as the kind of accessories that you get more and more exotic, and your skill improves and your level improves, this can get better and better.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Uh-huh.
All right. Jenny.
Yes.
All right. We're hitting you up next.
Go
And-
hunting. I'm gonna go find the hugest beast ever, and I'm not telling anybody. So if I die, nobody knows what happens to me. Just
So
joking.
hopefully that doesn't happen. Do I have the right music? I should have something like. I didn't prepare any hunting music, so
That's
it's kind of
okay.
like.
It could
We'll go with-
always just be
go with this
like
one.
it could always just be like I hunted like a d6 of Erdlus or something.
So, what I want to do is sort of play this out like a skill challenge.
Okay.
So you head out, and you might be on like a long hunting trip. Maybe you bring Francesca with you, so that you can haul a body back. Should that be necessary? And you start looking outside of the city, looking for if there's anything tracking currently. I'd like you to roll me a survival check with advantage because you are in your favorite terrain.
Awesome.
Oof. So it doesn't mean that you just fail to hunt the whole week. That's not how this is gonna work
Yeah.
because you have the time frame. It just means that a day or two passes and it's really, for lack of a better word, dry out here. And but eventually you're going to get onto some tracks, but you won't be able to do multiple hunting sessions like maybe you were hoping to. But you grasp onto something and you start following it along. And I'd like you to make a nature check with advantage.
Thank God
Okay.
it was with advantage.
Yeah. And so you're able to notice that this is what looks like not one creature, but a small like herd of creatures. And I don't mean, let me rephrase that. It's not that it's a small herd, it's actually a large herd of small creatures. And they're trailing in a way that gives you, that makes you think that they are something with multiple legs. Okay?
Okay.
And
I'm
you
really
can keep
worried
following-
it's what I'm thinking it is. But I'm gonna keep following them.
Yeah, sure. So, as you continue kind of tracking it, I would like you to, you notice that the tracks are getting more and more fresh, and you think that you might have to be a little careful about how you move forward. So I'd like you to get a stealth check with advantage, because we're still in that favored terrain.
Wow, really? Okay then.
Can you roll higher than a 6, please? Is that...
Guess what, guys? My highest roll today
and
was an
so-
11.
And you keep moving along, and that's okay. This is a skill challenge, not
Sure.
this is not a save or suck challenge. This is a skill challenge. And you start, you continue to keep moving about, and what you realize is you were among that kind of herd very closely as a burst of sand in multiple directions shows that there are numerous sand crabs, or essentially dune crabs, in this area. They're about the size of like a very small dog, and give me a nature check to, and this is a beast technically, so you can do it with advantage as well.
Some big
Now that
ass
you see them.
crabs.
Is it bad again? Let me see. Oh my god. Can you roll? Like So they're crabs. God damn.
It's okay, guys. I knew I was gonna die, so.
You're not sure of the nature of these things besides that, well, they're crabs.
Uh-huh.
But they're like the size of like a very small dog each. And
Cool.
um, there's like 50 of them out here, and you've kind of scared them, and they're all scuttling away at a pretty fast speed.
Okay.
I'd like you to chase after them,
Sure.
and as you chase them, you're essentially honing down on some in particular.
Okay.
You can. How would you like to try to? You know that their shells could be sold for trinkets, and their meat can be eaten. So this potentially could be a great haul. But you have to kill quickly and grab many. So you have essentially an option. Do you try to kill multiple as they run away and then collect the bodies, or do you try to get them one at a time and try to follow along with them? So one involves you being a good shot, and the other one involves you having the stamina to keep up with them. Which one do you want to try?
I'm gonna try the stamina one.
Okay, and so you put your bow away from now. It's not time to be firing on this horde. And you pull out your short sword or your dagger, and you start trying to gather them by hand, picking picking the slow ones off 1st. Give me an attack with your preferred melee weapon.
Sure. Oh wait, let's remember
Roll
how to
good.
roll again. With the weapon.
You can do it.
No, I can't.
Click the icon. It looks like the crossed swords.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
You did it. Okay.
Yes.
So, oh yeah, you have a spear. That's right. So you stab into it, piercing its husk, and you've got your bag on you, and it's probably mostly empty for a hunting run. So you can just dump it right into the bag,
Okay.
and you run after another one and try to get to do another spearing. Go ahead.
One second.
This music is like way too otherworldly.
There we go.
You manage to stab another one, and you can place it in the bag. But
Okay.
now they're starting to get away from you, and all this running and stabbing is starting to get to you. I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you start tiring.
Tinny, I believe in you.
Oof.
Oh no.
It
you-
was
you-
over a 10,
you
guys.
You start tiring. So the the left hand side is not over a 10, and you don't have advantage on this one.
Awesome.
Unless you're an elf. So
Nope.
you get to choose. Do you call it quits with the 2 crabs you have, or do you push forward and exhaust yourself?
Damn it. I'm just gonna give up.
Okay, and so you huff and puff, but you got 2 crabs in your bag. They're kind of, twitching about their last death throes. Still a fair amount of meat. Good for probably the whole week for you and then some. You could probably sell a little bit on the market.
Okay.
These creatures are common. However, oh yeah, this music is totally inappropriate.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little
like-
creeped out. I'm worried I'm gonna
okay,
get
that's
attacked by
why.
like.
Because it's on a playlist instead of playing one at a time. That's why. Yeah, it started playing fucking Frostmourne.
Jesus.
No, I
Yeah,
just started getting
so-
really scared, and I'm like, is something gonna attack me?
I
And you're
should've-
just
I should've
fucking
singled
with
out
me.
I should have singled out the music.
Horse
Yeah.
more.
Thought they were crabs.
Still
Surprise.
better than Discord's rhythm bot. But that's my mistake, not the rhythm bot's mistake.
Yeah, no
Okay,
worries.
so you're able to come back to Rom. Not exhausted. You didn't push yourself too hard. And you got this haul, and you are going to be good. The meat is juicy, provides the water you need and the meat you need as well for the week, and so you don't have to take care of costs. By the way, Ostos, I gotta come back to you. You got to take care of costs.
Okay.
But we'll get back to you in a second. Jenny.
Yep.
Do you wish to sell the remaining husk and meat?
Yeah, sure.
You eat the meat of one yourself, but the meat of the other can be sold for 4 bits, and the husk for another 2 bits. And so between 2 husks and the meat, actually let's just round it out to 10 bits, or essentially an iron.
Sure.
You can do an iron or 10 bits. That's fine with me.
Okay.
And I don't know. You might have wanted to do something with the book. Did you want to do that now or later?
Yeah, I'll try to find some like because I'm assuming if I sold it to a merchant, they'd be able to tell me what it is, right?
Yeah, you could do so in like the coins district.
Mm-hmm.
You do know if this is the wrong kind of book, you could be in trouble.
Well,
Just
can I open the book and see if there's is there like a signature in case it's like a journal or something? Would I even be able to tell?
You can't read the draconic
I
alphabet
can't.
from the common one.
Right.
So it's all squiggles to you.
No, I'm gonna go to a merchant in the coin district, and I'm gonna go up to a merchant to sell it. However, I'm going to lie, and I'm going to say, my master wanted me to sell this,
Oh God.
and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
just-
pretend to be a slave.
my friend had this, and the old man looks at it and goes, let's say the old woman first this time, and she goes, let's take a look at it. Interesting. This is a histories of draconic kind. Very interesting.
Oh, I think that's the wrong book, and I'll try to grab it from her.
Oh, and she's like holding it too, and like you're now contesting the book, and she's like, I like the book.
Yes, but I was supposed to sell you a different book, not that one. I must have
And,
grabbed the wrong one.
She looks at you like, well, fuck you, and let's go, and goes, but then smiles and goes, well, if there's anything else you'd like to sell, I'm all ears.
Of course, I will come back. I hope my master doesn't beat me too badly, and then I'm gonna walk off.
Bye bye.
I'm gonna keep the book.
All right, you can rename the book "Histories of Draconic Kind." I
Okay.
just fucking made that up on the spot.
Well, I love it, so...
Perfect. Okay.
And now later I can ask you lore about it.
Perfect. All you have to do is read it.
Damn
Okay.
it.
Or give it to Ostos, and he'll be like, "This is my father's fucking book."
I see.
Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if he knows every book in there. I probably have him roll.
I mean, he knows Draconic, so it probably came up at some point.
Yeah. So, all right. That satisfies Heatherly's. I know we'd found
Yeah.
something fun for you.
Oh, and then I'll probably hit the bar and get, like, super drunk.
Okay. I'll just say more or less because this is that your costs are covered with your
Okay.
your crab meat and husk.
Okay.
Okay. Alec, you wanted to speak with Laliana.
Yes.
Let's do that. And so you meet the next day, as she advised, in the excuse me, the Legless King. We're just gonna move some people out of here because I assume it's just the two of you. And she goes, "All right, what's the secret about?"
No secret. I just want your help. Do you have a dagger?
Who doesn't
know.
in this room? Or, I mean, who doesn't in this house?
Well, I don't, but yeah, you're gonna need it. I need your help with something with a dagger.
But
All right, but I don't work for free.
Okay, I can pay you. Don't worry. I'll pick up one of the chairs. sit in front of her and sit like I'll put like a chair in front of her so I can stay with my back towards her. That
All
makes sense.
right.
Um,
Look,
I
I know I've met your mother, but I'd prefer if we kept this professional.
yeah, sure. Still, I need a haircut. I'm
Oh,
not feeling comfortable using my whole hair since I show my face for some people in that fucking place.
she
So
laughs and goes, "Is this what you're on about?" All
yeah,
right.
mostly. Yeah. Is there anything wrong with that? Is that a bad idea?
No, no, but you're going to have to buy me 2 beers for this one.
Sure, sure. Would be my
And so for the next like half hour, maybe less, like 20 minutes, she cuts your hair with her dagger. She occasionally makes a joke about oops, or like, oh no, uh, or
yeah,
something like that to kind of get your goat. And then claims that you need to pay your way for 2 drinks, which is a bit.
sure. And meanwhile, while we like she's talking or just joking around, I would ask more stuff about Lao.
Low, yeah. And
Lo,
so, like what exactly about Low?
how does he handle his people? I mean,
Well,
I'm
I've
not telling, I don't want to intrude in the business. I just want to know how he treats them.
sure.
If if you have liberated any slave before or something
Do
quite like
just do like a general charisma check, to see how it
okay.
plays out, I guess.
General charisma. That's my middle name. Work? Oh yeah, it did.
Okay. Uh, she goes, I hope you didn't buy me a beer and have me cut your hair just to learn about my father.
Oh no, we'll get to the next point. Don't worry.
But he's he's an ambitious man, but he's honest, and he always pays his due.
That's good to know. I'm not asking this out of the blue. I'm just trying to understand where I'm stepping my foot in, you know.
Well, I imagine Lo once thought that when a Templar walked through his doors,
Yeah.
and that's why what happened happened. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it could have gone better, but Lo has his way of doing things that protects all of us.
That's reassuring, I suppose.
Not you, mind you, just us by our tribe.
Yeah,
She
I
laughs.
understand that. I understand that. I'm not part of the tribe.
But
That would
you're an associate now, and Lo does take care of his associates. It's I think the days of distrust are behind us.
that's good to know. So you probably know about the stuff that I have on me, right? Or Lowell did, or your father didn't tell you about it.
Or Lo tells us on a need to know basis.
Okay, okay,
Being his daughter, I get no better.
all right. That's less reassuring, but reassuring nonetheless. Still,
What about it though? And she kind of pokes at it with her finger. What's
you,
it? Is it glow? Does it scream obscenities? What does it do?
you don't want to know. I mean, I get to keep some secrets from other people, right? Or do I have to tell you everything?
No, we all have our secrets. You can have yours. Although she looks bored and disappointed.
Don't worry. It does tell obscenities, but not the way most of the people like. I'm just worried it might come to blows at some point.
She smiles
It's
at you and goes, was it me drinking or you?
um, let's say it's a big problem that I'm trying to handle right now, and I'm just trying to get it done. And I don't know quite how to do so. And yeah, still, other topic. Let's go. Am I free and willingly to go visit the most hated people in this tavern? I mean,
Well,
talking about the thing first.
as much as I love another cuppa, I think you're free to go alone.
All right, all right. I'm just asking to make sure I'm not nor followed nor stabbed or something else. Not that I don't trust you. I do trust you. You can follow me anytime. And when he says that, he winks.
Wait,
Uh,
say that again? Sorry, I was typing something.
okay. Um, he he turns to her and say, "Okay, not that I don't trust you or anyone here. It's just that being followed while trying to do my work is kind of bad, and I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to be backstabbed or something.
No,
But
no,
if you want to
no.
follow me, that's totally fine." And he looks at her and just winks.
Okay, there it is. All right, and she goes. She kind of smiles for a second, and then she looks away and says, "No, I'd rather not watch you gather slaves and, you know, beat the common man or whatever it is you do. I'm quite all right myself."
Can I tell you a story about that? About gathering slaves?
Hmm.
You,
It's time for the gift, isn't it? I'm sure your superiors will want to talk to you.
yeah, uh, yeah. I that can wait for a bit, at least for a moment.
Hmm.
If you want to have that cup of tea right now.
Not that one now.
All right. Then start times for later then. Thanks for the haircut though.
Of course.
You kind
Enjoy
of
the comments that will follow. As she snickers, and she picks herself up from the table, and I will officially roll how good of a haircut
Oh
you got.
no.
But I'm gonna use her sleight of hand,
Oh, thank you.
which she's quite good with. Yeah,
Ooh.
it was damn good.
Nice.
All right, and she heads off, and you've got yourself a haircut. That's an interesting thing, and I want to talk about how we are on time. How we are on time.
I'm good.
Good.
Is anybody not good?
I can
I'm
go
good.
for like 30 more minutes.
Same.
Yeah, I wouldn't go any longer than 30 more myself, because then we're bridging on hitting other people's events too.
Mhm.
All right, um, Alec, let's finish up with something you didn't plan.
Oof.
Well,
Oof.
Yes.
did and didn't, because you were gonna visit Mom and you were gonna visit Bella Luna. So I would actually say this is part of your plan. Let's skip to the part. So you did visit Mom and she's happy to see you, and you know she just smothers you with love. But there's nothing out of or the ordinary. Although she does ask about where's your new girlfriend. Um, she seems disappointed that your new girlfriend's not around.
She's
Um,
busy.
Yeah, but let's go visit Bella Luna in the Templar District. Sound good?
Yes, yes, sounds. Oh God, yes, good.
Sounds so good. I can't wait. In fact, do I have some music? Yeah, here we are. So you arrive back in the Templar District, and you know, heavily guarded are these streets, and you see the Queen's Hill in the not too distant range, and I'll swap that map just to get us back to an idea of where you are. So you're out, you're basically on the edge between the Templar District and the Queen's Hill, where it's mostly guarded. And when you get close to the Queen's Hill, you see those Templar bearing metal gear, and it's impressive. a sort of incredible display of force in front of her palace. And in a building nearby is Bella Luna.
Take a deep breath. Go inside.
Okay. And you head in, and Bella Luna looks up, and she looks annoyed at the moment. Like she's not having the best of times. And you can see that when you were passing by, a lot of Templar were mobilizing to move out of the district. And Bella Luna looks up. Without looking up, she just goes, "Report."
My lady.
And she kind of, her expression changes. And she looks up. "Oh, Alec. What do you have for us?"
I just wanted to talk with you for a minute or two, if possible.
"I have
Are
a
you
minute or two. Yes."
Right. Just gonna ask out of blue, how's the gift going?
"Not well. We don't have enough slaves this year, and so we're having to pick people off the street. I've sent them off to the ghost city. Nobody will miss them. But still, we're supposed to use slaves."
Um, um, I suppose you didn't visit the ghost town. Then, right?
"What, me? No. I'm not going to ask you to pick any up. I have a different assignment for you, Alec."
You have an assignment for me now.
"Yes. So, well, once the gift is mobilized, we've heard reports that there are northern raiders that have come down to, well, take advantage of the situation, and we need some people to sort of fight them off and keep a perimeter around the gift while we transport them to Yaramoke."
All right. What can you tell me about the raiders?
"We think they're Ravage. We think this because they're still wearing old gladiator gear. Go ahead and roll me a history check if you want."
Ooh. Oof.
You don't know anything about it, and kind of this blank stare, and she can read you real well. So she goes, "There are a small handful of raider territories to the north. Ravage, Spoil, Pillage. They're all named after, well, what they do. And the Ravage ones have been emboldened lately. Yes, they've come by once in a while to pick off a merchant's camp, but this time we think they're targeting the gift itself."
But
So?
why? They want to free the slaves or something else?
Of course not. They want our things. They want slaves of their own, or perhaps they want some Templar goods. I don't care. The point is, we need folks like you to create a perimeter and kill anything you see. Sound like something you can do?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's get this over with. And she dismisses you pretty quickly unless you have anything else to say.
I'm
She
not done.
looks really unhappy today.
I'm not done, lady.
Says what?
I wanted to ask you about that stuff that happened several years ago. About the sorcerer that I found. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. We found they're here and there. Somewhere in this city is the Veiled Alliance, but he looks like he's frustrated. He says, "That's neither here nor there. What about it?"
You were not High Templar at that moment.
No.
How do you cope with that? I mean,
And she kind of sighs and puts some of her the sort of work in front of her down and looks up at you, full eye contact this time, and says, I do what I must, because Abalashe Ray demands it. But I personally think doesn't matter.
All right. I thank you for the time then. Sorry to bother. And when is my due to this export and perimeter mission?
When the horns play, it's time for you to assemble. I'll be there and tell you where to go.
Do I need to assemble other templates to do so, or am I?
You'll be given a partner.
Okay. Might I know whom already?
I mean, do you have a preference? Otherwise, they'll be assigned randomly.
Is it another Templar or just a random mercenary that I'm working?
Templar only. Can't trust the mercenaries on this one.
Okay. Okay. I do not have a preference. However you seem fit.
One will be assigned to you. Is that all?
Yes, it is.
Good luck.
I'll turn my back and walk away.
As you're coming back out of the Templar district bordering on the Queen's Hill, you can already see that slaves are being rounded up in groups. Their face is grim. All right, that's all for that. Woo! The week passes. Alec, you're given room and board as part of your background. Jenny fed herself. Beastie fed herself with her work. Nadia, what did Nadia do to? Oh, it was her,
Yeah.
her organization
Mhm.
keeps her good. And Ostos,
I owe you money.
yeah. Oh, the woes of that sort of thing. But you don't have to pay board. You get that from, but you have your dues. I've been tracking dues so well. Do you have a track of that?
I don't think I've had an amount that I need to pay dues for. So if there's anything I need to pay retroactively, just let me know. I'm
We'll
pretty well off
figure
right
that
now.
out later, but yeah, you have some kind of monthly dues, and maybe they're up later. Probably not now. But otherwise, if you go to your kind of corner of the guild, you can kind of get some random slop, and you can always sleep at your father's place. Sometimes you can just get a meal at your father's place too.
Okay.
Never from your father though; he's busy working.
Yeah.
Lydia is the one that's so graciously doing it for you at this point. All right. Let's pause this Dragon Age music, and the rest of you. Eventually, you all kind of come back together again. Where do you come back together? Bronze Jakar.
Legless Kank.
Yeah, I would like to do that one.
Okay, back
Yeah.
to Legless. And so you arrive back at the Legless Kank. You can place yourselves as you wish. And Liliana's not there at the moment. Neither is Lo. But you're allowed in as an associate. And it's been a while since you've talked to Jenny
I guess I can actually sit on
and
the chair.
Alec and all of them, I suppose, Ostos. Except for Nadia, which is more recent. But you've got that crystal back in your hand. But you notice that it gives off a faint glow when you all gather here.
Astos.
I'll kind of keep it mostly outside from like the rest of the bar and everything.
Okay.
And I kind of like lift it up on the table, maybe keep my cup in between it and that part of the room.
Sure.
Show it to everyone else. So this was put back together, and it's speaking with some people in the Coins district. They've told me that this is something that could link towards other to a place or a person in Yaramuke, quite a ways away. This is what we found when we were chasing after Jaws Hall before. Just kind of telling everyone at the table. Hello.
I'm just sorry. I mean, I didn't want to
you?
interrupt anybody. And what is the crystal supposed to do?
I think it's magic of some sort. But I believe it's a communication device of some sort, and it also leads to another place. Please correct me if I'm wrong, DM. But this could lead back to whatever that Jaws Hall in the caves, whatever or whoever it was talking to.
But what place is it linked to? I mean, why was doing what the fuck that was doing in Kobold's lair? And I didn't say Kobold. I say the actual name. Sorry.
Jaws Hall.
Yeah, Jaws Hall.
Well, from those that I talked to, it sounds like it leads back to Yaramuke. And
What?
the iconography of that necklace that we found was that like a depiction of the dragon or the former sorcerer king that was of that city? DM?
It's a depiction of a skeletal dragon.
Oof. Did you say Yaranuke?
Specifically,
Yes.
it's the icon of a skeletal dragon bursting out of a volcano.
Interesting.
And anyone who's a Dre knows exactly what that means.
Yep. Nadia's kind of holding her face.
Yep. Same.
So, what that means, it's actually a depiction of an event that most Dre are looking forward to, the Great Chorusation. It is when Dragoth gets to live again and conquer the Tablelands for the Dre.
It's the I had to use a bad comparison, but it's the Dark Sun Tiamat.
Yep.
Yep. It only has one head this time.
Oh god.
So I have no idea what to expect up there, but that Jaws Hall was up to no good before, and there's actually a couple of herbs I'm interested in Yaramuke, but that's a bit out of the way. There's a chance that you all were interested in poking
it's
around
not
there.
out of the way.
Who knows what we might stumble upon.
It's definitely not out of my way, at least. I reported to my superiors the other day, and I am bound to assist with the gift. Not a thing that I'm happy to do, but it's my duty, and I'm bound to go there. I don't know for how long and when they're leaving, but they're mobilizing, so yeah. I just don't know what to make of this thing, this dragon, that just Crystal you're saying about. Yeah.
I don't think anyone mentioned anything about Dragoth. I think the Dre know about it.
Oh yeah, the iconography is really only discernible to the Dre. It's sort of too obscure to know otherwise.
Okay.
Oh well, can you accept others' aid as well? Besides, the
I,
gift.
I don't think so. I am to be sent to another Templar to escort them.
I'm just gonna make this easy.
Okay.
Templar are not gonna complain if citizens assist,
Oh, sorry.
and technically, although you're not a very high-ranking Templar at all, this Templar is ranked under you.
Oh, he's my subject.
Yeah,
Ooh, the mother.
because you're more experienced,
Okay.
and so it's reasonable to believe that if the party can, they're able to stay with you. So this is not an issue of splitting the party necessarily.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't want to get ahead of that because
Yeah, that's kind of where I was heading with that.
It's gonna be rude. Oh, yeah. I can have company. Thing is, um, my job there is go follow the gift and avoid it being assaulted by raiders, which seems to be something peculiar and common at these times. I don't know why, but I am to kill every single raider that comes to attack or incite.
It sounds like a lot of murdering.
Yes.
Don't know how much I could help with something like that, but
It depends on you if you want to risk everything else because, you know, you and Templars don't buy that very well besides me, of course. But
yeah,
you do want to inspect that crystal, right?
it's interesting. Curiosity at least.
By the way, how much iron do we, both of us, have right now? Can we buy that reagent that you need?
Way. Um, I only have about 30 or so.
Damn it. All right.
There's 72 in the party treasure.
Um,
Don't know.
do you guys mind if we like borrow some of those?
I mean, it's pretty important, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
Um, Seeing that's the response of the party, Alec would just like stand up and then let's go get it. I think this is top priority, right?
Hey, we can get that. But if you're heading out real soon, Nadia, Jenny, Beastie, would you want to come along with something so grim?
I can help.
Yes. Plus, you're squishy. And I'll smirk at Astos.
I'm gonna be wearing a smirk too.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Beastie.
Just, yeah, I'll just ask if anything happens during anything that we're doing with this thing, and he puts a hand on the sword. Don't intervene unless I say so, or unless I'm trying to kill something. All right, please let me handle it. I, I'm in control still.
Sure.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
wow.
Beastie. I mean, I don't want to rush out here without hearing your thoughts.
I'll go. She looks grumpy.
Well, okay. I'm sure it's a bit of a walk and a trip, so if there's anything we need to talk about, then we have quite a bit to go.
On the way to the place to buy the thingy, I would like to draw Astos to a side and ask, Phil, thanks.
Yes.
Um, what do you know about the gift?
Um, I know it's many, many slaves, like 1,000 or so, that get escorted to be sacrificed to something called a dragon.
All right. Does that knowledge of yours imply something more about the Templars involved?
That the Templars round up the gift, and that if they don't, then the dragon will kill the Sorcerer King or Queen. That's about all I really know about it, though. It's an area of expertise of mine.
All right. If you discover anything else about that, the Templars, actually, you tell me, right?
Hey, I mean, I don't go out my way reading books about it, but sure.
Thanks.
Okay, so logistically, there's what, 70 gold in the bag or 70 iron. How much iron do you have, Alec?
72 in the party.
I actually have 41 iron on me, and I'm willing to spend everything if I
What are
need
you
to.
picking up?
Oh, was
The
it?
dewdrop, I believe.
Yeah. 100 bits then.
100 bits or 100 iron?
100 iron. My bad.
Okay,
I was
Jesus.
like, this would be a lot
Don't
cheaper.
make me die
That'd be
like this.
too easy. Yeah. So you would need 28 iron on top of what's in the party treasury.
I cover it.
Okay. Go ahead and remove 28. I'm going to go into the party treasure and remove the iron.
Okay.
Okay, the iron's removed. You now have a dune drop, and put in your inventory, call the cost 100.
Okay.
Where shall we do it?
Whoever's casting the spell ought to have it.
Yeah. Dune drop or dew drop?
Dune,
Okay.
like sand dune.
Yep. We could do it. It takes a little bit of time. We could do it in my household. That would be preferable. Just don't spook my father too much.
All right, I'll try.
No, please don't try to spook my father.
Okay, I'll try to not spook your father.
So I'll go back there, make his presence known, identify go into a room and be like, Alec, please talk to the sword or whatever.
Okay.
Please tell it not to throw me across the room. You know what? I'm going to start like stacking pillows or like cushioning and bedding against a wall. And, like, position my back against the wall. Like, whenever you're done with that conversation of it not throwing me, I'll start.
I'm gonna, hearing Asta saying that, I'm gonna draw focus in the sword and think really, really trying to drive my will to the sword and say, I'm doing this to understand what you are.
And what spell's being cast?
This would be a ritual identify. So this would be 11 minutes.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry, continue on. Go on, Arthur.
I'm just gonna say that I want to try to understand the sword, to the sword,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say, you won't be away from me for too much long, so worry not. For the wielder of the weapon is still here. And I'm gonna place the sword right close to Astos while standing close to both of them as well.
Okay. Interesting. I have something prepared for this.
Oh Jesus Lord!
From an old game a long time ago.
I'm really worried you guys are gonna go into secret chats because I'm writing down notes.
I will pull my archived sessions from my old games.
Well, before this all starts, Astos would like to hyperventilate.
Okay.
Okay. And if you're ready, then I'll start that ritual identifying.
Okay.
Also, you
I'm-
minimized the music again. Sorry.
No,
Unless
I
you
turned it
paused
off on purpose. I
Oh,
turned it
okay.
off. But thank you for
No
keeping
worries.
track. Okay, go ahead and cast the spell.
Oh lordy. So,
And you let it go, Alec. And you said like what you are, and it responds to you and says,
But I am Alec of Rom. Is your new will.
jeez.
and you hand it over, and you place it on a table, and Helio begins to chant over it. And your father starts to join in and is looking wide-eyed at this thing, and the two of you start to work together because it becomes clear that this thing is fighting back.
Oh,
How lovely.
Can you give me
I
an
do know the
Arcana
name
check
of the blade, right?
with advantage because your father is helping you?
okay.
DM, I do know the name of the blade, right? Alex,
Go ahead and tell me what it is.
Scourge of Rakard.
Okay. Sure.
Shit.
Is
Um,
it?
Do
what I'm
I
thinking.
sense it fighting back?
I need to get that Arcana. Okay, excellent. Perfect. And so the two of you start chanting, and the room starts darkening, although it seems sourceless. And your father tries to create a light in his hand, but it just starts to dim and flicker and then go out. And as the two of you kind of cut into what it is, sort of shadow peels away from this black aura, and what you see underneath is nothing short of the extermination of dwarven kind. You see a sort of broken, ruined city, capital city, full of dead dwarven bodies. You see the shadow of an individual holding this sword, who stands over them. And for a moment, the room is quiet. The noises from outside of the town even seem to cease. And the corners of your eyes, sort of vision that you have, darkens too. And you realize you've lost vision, Ostos.
Oh, lovely.
And you start beginning to have a new vision.
Okay.
And after I do this next bit, we'll be closing, okay?
Okay.
I'm about to do the next bit. Let me pull something up real quick. I have the bit here. Your body starts to get racked with pain, Ostos, as you become something else entirely in your own mind. You become an
Okay.
outside watcher. You see a figure fully clad in black metal armor, grasping the scourge of Ricard, with 100 well-armed soldiers behind him. He steps towards the closed gates of the prosperous capital of Camelot and thrusts the scourge a foot deep into the stone doors. An explosion shatters the gates, stunning the dwarven vanguard behind it. His men rush in to slay them. You see another scene. The dwarven city is now in chaos. A cacophony of screaming and wailing fills the city's halls as his warriors hurl fireballs into random homes, immolating the families inside. The leading human moves with unreal speed, planting his blade into each panicked man, woman, and child with such brutal efficiency that his pace forward is not even slowed. Next, you see a dwarven counterattack mounting. An emotional war cry of dwarven men and women followed by the crashing of hammers against human skulls. As the humans' numbers dwindle under dwarven assault, a black blade is risen to the sky, and shadowy bolts fling from the edge. They burst and roil among both the entire battlefield, covering dwarf and human alike. They choke and gasp for their final breaths. There's more. Atop a row of stairs leading to the royal fortress stands a single dwarven man. He is Ricard, adorned in golden plate armor. With tears of rage, he flies down the stairs to assault the man with the scourge. For a minute, they are locked in battle as equals, but Ricard's resolve proves to hold, while the human's strength wanes. Ricard's axe slams into the man's chest, ripping open a bloody wound. But as the man kneels in agony, he thrusts the scourge into Ricard's chest. Both of them drop the weapons, though while the axe clatters to the ground, the scourge remains in Ricard. In the last vision you have, the wounded man retreats from Camelot, his sword left behind in the chest of the king. Ricard's skin pales, and black veins crawl from his chest. Slowly, Camelot's citizens start to come out from their homes, to gather around their dying king. In both sorrow and pride, they lift up Ricard and gently carry him back to the royal fortress. And as they do so, a soldier bellows at the top of his lungs in a tearful victory cry, "Rejoice for Ricard, savior of Camelot, repeller of Rajat's scourge!" And with that, they carry him into the royal fortress, their dead king.
That was Rajat's scourge, like that. Okay. Do I have my vision back?
There's no music on purpose. That's where we're gonna end this session.
Okay. There's one more administrative thing that looking back, I would like to have done if possible.
Sure, what is it?
On my book, could I